Only took 5 clicks today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it went. Then the show went live. Every day I click a button. Every day I click a button to get the show live, and I got to click it 5 times because it just doesn't react to the first time. Sometimes it takes 15 times. Hi, everybody. Welcome into the Rant. I am Pugs Moran. We do this every day around about the noon o'clock hour since 2021. Yeah, it is a tireless exercise in narcissism that we do here. Am I centered right? No, because if I go this way, you can't do a show like this. This doesn't make any sense. My chair that's not why am I so like out of here? Let's move my chair. Don't just move the chair over. You can just move everything over. There we go. Now look who's comfortable. And better centered. As I say, we do this show every day around about noon. Been doing it since 2021. Currently doing it, operating from the Kelly Moran North Studios in the beautiful south side of Chicago. Hi. What do we do here? We do talk radio for normal people. I am a professional talk radio host. Okay. I just don't work in radio anymore, which means I don't make any money, which means why don't I work in radio anymore? Because you would think, oh my God, I've seen your numbers from 92 to 2012 in both major markets of Chicago and Dallas. You were top 5 in every book. You made nice money. Why can't you work? I can't work because talk radio doesn't want to hire anybody who is going to just tell you the truth. I'm too much of a fucking loose cannon, apparently. Well, no, because if he doesn't like an advertiser, he'll say no. He'll say that he doesn't he will not promote that. Yeah, I got fucking principles. And let me tell you something, as a modern American who finds himself, Gen Xer, finds himself in his 50s now. Fuck that. I am leaning into the principle thing. I don't care that my personal principles and moral standing and all that shit may have had an adverse effect on my career over the years. Fuck it. We're leaning into it. Principles only. I know the difference between right and wrong because I was raised by decent people. I know when something doesn't look right or doesn't seem right, and I'm going to call it out. And that's what we do every day. Hi. Hola, Adam. Getting excited because we got a fucking baller of a show today. There are so many subjects that I just want to go off on. Also, here's a problem though. We had this problem yesterday. So I drink coffee every morning and it kind of gets me going, as I'm sure I'm not unique in that aspect. I'm sure many of you drink coffee every morning. Hell, Starbucks is kind of proof of concept. But here at the Kelly Moran North Studios, I've recently, over the last couple of days, began to utilize the on-premise coffee maker. Yes, there is an on-premise coffee maker here at the Kelly Moran North Studios that I hadn't utilized until yesterday. And now I am just drinking so much coffee that the beginning of the show is going to kind of be like this. So it also means that there will be moments throughout today's show where I'm like, gotta go pee. Because as I said, I'm a middle-aged man with a bladder. I have a bladder. What does it mean? Like, is my bladder tiny now? Is that why I pee all the time? What happened? When the balls drop, the bladder kind of constricts. I don't know how this works. It's fucking biology. I don't know. Anyway, here's what we do. As far as the way I handle subjects and news and hot topics and all that, I don't come at anything politically. Okay, I'm not a political guy. I hate politics. I hate what politics has done to this country. So I would much rather spend, a couple of hours today talking about the beef between Lil Wayne and Caleb Williams, or Kiefer Sutherland getting arrested, or any of the other fun stuff that we can do. But unfortunately, we live in a world where we have to be responsible adults, and there are real things that need to be discussed. Now, how I approach these various topics from day to day, again, has nothing to do with carrying water for the right. Those fucking people. There are 15% of people on the right who I don't ever want to talk to again, except when all this is over. When all this is over, when the dust settles, we're going to want to talk to all of those people. And it's a good thing that somebody out there has got to be making a list. There's got to be a list of people that I'm talking like 15 years from now, when they like try to come back into normal, you can be like, oh, I want to pull up a tweet from 2024 where you called Kamala Harris a monkey lesbian bitch. Yeah, you won't be getting this job. Sorry, you're just not our kind of people. We're making a list of those crazy fuckers, the 15 on the right. You ain't coming back. I've decided. Who are you? Well, I'm the king of this little universe. Got the same thing going on over there on the left. You got 15% of people. I always describe them as these blue-haired weirdos who are sitting around a kitchen table trying to figure out how to make a pipe bomb so they can blow up their local Tesla dealership. Those fucking people are gone too. 15 and 15. That leaves us, man. We are 70% here. Some of us have voted for Republicans and then in the next election voted for Democrats. Some of us are, Republicans, but not crazy fucking Republicans, like normal, decent, all-American Republicans. And then, some of us are like more liberal leaning and a little bit more progressive. We're normal, decent people. We can go out to dinner with somebody who shades to the right and it not end in a fight or the police being called. This is a show for normal fucking people. Here's what I used to say, and I think it needs to be brought up again. Here's who this show is not for, okay? This show is not for you. If you're listening right now and you're checking out the stream and you're thinking this might be for me, if you check any of these boxes, get the fuck out of here right now, okay? Here's how we start. Are you still invited to your family stuff? Like if your cousin Johnny graduates from med school and everyone decides to get together at, whatever, Bennigan's Chili's, whatever. Are you still invited? Do you get that call to show up for the dinner? Are you banned from your family Thanksgiving? If you are, you're not wanted here. You're not wanted here because you've done some shit. Have you ever been dragged off an airplane and then had video of the incident go viral where you're screaming about fucking masks or, some fucking brown-skinned person that's flying the plane? If that's ever been you, get the fuck out of here. You're not allowed. Not allowed. What's the other one? Have you ever been arrested in the parking lot of a Target because you didn't like a display in the store? If so, get the fuck out of here. You're not allowed to listen to the show. You are not normal. There's a whole bunch of other examples. Those are just the most glaring ones of people in society who I just do not want to deal with anymore. So let's go. All right. Every day this show relies on you. Why? Because we can't get advertising. No way. Not with somebody who talks this way. Nobody wants to put their brand next to someone who can't be counted on to say what they want them to say next. So we rely on you, the fine listener, all these years. Every day we award the title of executive producer to the person that tipped the show. Tip the show biggest. Someday, look, we go days at a time without any tip. And then there are some days where we'll get 2 or 3 tips, and that's fantastic, and we appreciate it. And from that day, we look at the person who tipped the most, and we make them what we like to call the executive producer of the show, and I can't fucking find it. There it is. Sorry. We have an executive producer today, and of course it's Maddie. Maddie covered like 10 of you, okay? Just so you know, you fucking slacks. Maddie covered a bunch of you. Thank you, Maddie. Still about $200 short of our goal, so we need to get to that over the next few days. We'll see if we can, and that's the last we're going to say. But thank you, Maddie. Appreciate you. Also want to thank the GOAT. The GOAT dropped a little something. Thank you to the GOAT. Thank you to Barney. Barney, who's so regular. Thank you to Barney. You guys all fucking rule. All right. Where's Barney? Wait. I hate this restream. Restream is so cumbersome. I've been doing it for 4 years and it's still. Barney has a question. Barney would like to know, wait, the parking lot counts now? I am moving the goalposts. Yes, I said that if you've been arrested in the parking lot of a Target store because you got a problem with some display they got, you're not allowed to listen. Barney is concerned about me. I used to say inside a Target store. But here's how I think about this, Barney. They probably tried to escape, and they finally got cuffed in the parking lot. So it is a bit moving of the goalpost. But how about this? You can listen to this show if nobody at your local Target knows who you are. How's that? If you are known at your local Target, you're not allowed to be on. You're not allowed to listen. I don't want your fucking money. I don't want nothing. Get the hell out of here. You're a problem. You're on a list. Thank you, Maddie. I see Maddie answering there in the chat room. All right, so here's why the show's a little bit delayed today. I know. Oh, he's got got excuses. He's always got excuses. Show's a little bit late today because there are two categories of people in this world that I think ought to be rounded up and put in jails. Okay. Those two categories are NFL draft night experts. I want all NFL draft night experts put in handcuffs. No trial. We don't need a trial. All you got to do is point at Zach Wilson. You don't need a trial, okay? NFL draft experts, they're the worst. The other, weathermen, weather people. Let's be modern weather people. Although I will tell you this. A cute little 20-something weather girl in a tight dress, I would much rather look at her than the austere 50-something-year-old man in a suit. I don't give a fuck. You're all clowns. None of you know what you're doing. You're all reporting the same thing. There's a computer that says, here's what the radar says the weather's going to be tomorrow, and you're just reading it. So I do like, in the last 20 years, we've started to go a little bit Central American. By that I mean, when I was growing up, weathermen were always dudes. It was always old men with gray hair because it was important. And you had to listen to what they had to say because they knew what they were talking about. But at the very same time, like in other parts of the world, they knew that weather was just stupid and nobody could accurately predict it. So why not just put a big-breasted girl in a tight dress there doing it? And we loved it. Well, we didn't get it, really, until recently. Like 20 years ago is when American mainstream weather and news started putting hot chicks in tight dresses. Anyway, all of them are going to get rounded up. All of them. You got your NFL draft night experts and your weather people. They all need to be locked up. They all need. Why? Because I went to bed last night having no idea that I would wake up in a winter wonderland. It was 50 fucking degrees here in Chicago yesterday. It was 50. Everything was green. Well, muddy because we had snow earlier. And then that all melted because it was 50. I go to bed last night. I even had my window cracked. I had my window cracked because the heat's a little bit hot. So you crack the window a little. You try and even it out. So I went to sleep. I had my window cracked. I woke up. There was an inch of snow in my bedroom. An inch of snow. Woke up. There's snow everywhere. It's like 10 degrees and there's like inches. So anyway, the reason the show is late today, because I didn't prepare for that. I woke up. I thought I would just be able to do my normal stuff, do the hygiene stuff, have a cup of coffee, get dressed, get in the car, drive in here to the Kelly Moore North Studios. It's not how it happened. I woke up. I had to defrost the car. I had to get the snow off the car. I had to go get gas because I knew traffic would be bad and I was a little bit low. I could have made it, but I decided to probably get gas just to be safe. So I got gas. And usually it takes me about 20 minutes to get here to the Kelly Moore North Studios. Today it took almost an hour and a half. So that's why we're late, because the weather people absolutely suck, which brings me to my next thing. Weather people don't know what do you mean you didn't see this? I watch the weather every night before I go to bed. No, I don't watch old-timey, weather on your local ABC, NBC, or CBS 10 o'clock news. I watch the weather on the weather app. I check it every day. I'm like, it's more, I always thought it was more accurate. Anyway, there was zero prediction of this. You know what there was? There's a 30% chance of a slight dusting overnight. What the fuck? What? Wasn't a slight dusting? Everything is frozen. Everything is ice. The roads are terrible. But I'm here. I'm here anyway. And there really was a moment today. There was this moment while I was getting gas where I just looked at the highway. The highway was right there. I got gas right next to the highway, and I'm looking at the backup on the highway, and the snow is blowing in the wind, and it's cold, and I'm getting gas, and I said to myself, it's a snow day. I'm going home. I am not going to do this today. But guess what? Because there's so much nonsense that we need to get to, I decided to come in, so here I am. Maddie says, in New Orleans, it was Nash Roberts, and that man was the GOAT to everyone until the day he died. They would bring him back during hurricane season, even after his retirement. Yeah, look, there are certain cities where I think the weatherman is more important than in other cities. Like, I'll give you a city where the weatherman ain't important at all. San Diego. If you're a weatherman in San Diego, you're probably just, a reformed junkie who looks good on screen, because you don't need to do nothing in San Diego if you're a fucking weatherman there. New Orleans, yeah, you got to have chops. That city, weather bends that city over regularly, so you got to have chops if you're down there in New Orleans. Chicago, too. You got to have chops in Chicago, because we get these... we get like what happened last night out of nowhere. So here's why I'm concerned about it, because since it was established that on Sunday night, the Chicago Bears will be taking on the Los Angeles Rams in the NFC divisional round, we here in Chicago have been like, oh, okay. Well, we know what the Rams are, and everything the Rams are stops being what the Rams are when the field is frozen and covered in ice. So that's an advantage. And, the Chicago Bears, we like to fancy ourselves as a between the tackles kind of, run it out and grind it out and just fucking wear you down. And then if we need it, Caleb will drop an 80-yard dime to win the game with 2 seconds left on the clock. That's how we play. Hate us if you want. We're enjoying the hell out of it. Anyway, the weather predicted for Sunday night's football game is below 10 degrees with wind chill factors in the sub-zeros. So we're talking, like, if you're familiar with Chicago, Sunday night when they kick off, it'll probably be 8 degrees and there'll be a wind coming off the lake. So what that means is it's technically 8 degrees, but because of the wind chill factor, it feels like it's minus 15. That's what we're hoping for. One of those games. And here's why. We've all been doing our research here in Chicago, and we're very familiar with Matthew Stafford, the standout MVP candidate quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams. He good. He also dome boy, but he good. So they've been doing all of these, like, hey, remember when, the Lions used to come? Well, look, we're familiar with Matthew Stafford in this game, okay? So, but here's the point. Matthew Stafford sucks when it's cold. Sorry, he sucks when it's cold. This isn't just like, he's 1-3 in cold weather games. No, he played in Detroit and he played in the NFC North for a lot of years. He played in frozen Soldier Field and he played in frozen Green Bay. Yes, he's a dome. That's why we call him Dome Boy, because he can only perform. Oh, I got to watch what I'm saying here. Tempting the gods, right? Tempting the gods. I'm not going to say that. We'll just say that the record shows that Matthew Stafford has struggled immensely, and he's also dealing with an injury. He's dealing with an injury in his hand that is, not going to be good when it's 8 degrees and the blood stops flowing to the hands and it hurts more than ever. All right, so the predictions from these know-nothings had us all excited. We're like, it's going to be frozen on Sunday. But then we wake up this morning and realize that they were completely wrong about a prediction 24 hours out. So how can we trust? How can we trust when they say it's going to be like Arctic conditions in the coldest weekend of the year, for the Bears home game against the Rams? How can we trust that? I don't know. Here are some fun facts, though. This is what we've learned here in Chicago doing the research. Did you know, would it surprise you that Matthew Stafford is 9-18 in games played outdoors in temperatures below 40 degrees? Oh, he's 500. He's 9-18 in outdoor games under 40 degrees. 40 degrees. Are you kidding me? I still wear shorts when it's 40 degrees. This fucking guy, it ain't gonna be 40 degrees. Some Los Angeles Rams fan, some chick, I don't know. But she showed footage of Matthew Stafford in New England playing against New England in what appeared to be like big, beautiful, giant snow. And it was really nice. And so this girl from Los Angeles said, all you Chicago people who don't think that Matthew Stafford can play in the cold and snow, and then they showed a video of him just balling out, looking really good. To which everybody, this Southern California girl, thinks that snow, fluffy snow that's falling is the same as fucking minus 15 wind chill. We had a good laugh at her expense. We're like, go to the beach, baby. You have no idea. You think that snow and 34 degrees is the same as 22-mile-per-hour winds coming off the lake and 8-degree ground temperature? It ain't the same thing, baby. So Matthew Stafford, as it turns out, is 9-18 in games played under 40 degrees. Let's take that down a little further. Let's see how he does. Matthew Stafford is 1-9 in games played below freezing. That's games played below 32 degrees. Matthew Stafford can't play in the cold. Oh, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Watch him ball out. He is probably the best quarterback in the NFC right now. But whatever. We're taking whatever we can get. He is 1-9 in games played below freezing. Oh, boy. He's 9-18 in games played temperatures below 40. And you know that, there's a whole bunch of those games where it was 39 and it just made the cutoff. So whatever. Also, it should be noted, Matthew Stafford is 0-2 at Soldier Field when the temperature is below 32 degrees. And as we said, it is predicted to be about 5 degrees with a -15 wind chill. All right, let's go. So fuck the weathermen. I don't know that I can trust what their prediction is for Sunday night. I hope I can, but I sure as shit couldn't trust their prediction for this morning. And that's where we are. And that's why the show was late. Maddie's the executive producer, so I'm just going to put up whatever the hell she says. She says, true story, my stepmom is a huge Matthew Stafford fan. She wears his Georgia jersey every Sunday. Well, good for her. There's nothing to dislike about Matthew Stafford. I don't have a problem with Matthew Stafford, the man. I have a problem with the Los Angeles Rams QB1, but I don't really have a problem with Matthew Stafford. He's good. He's so good. Trust me. Like I said, he was a very scary. I'm a Chicago Bear fan, man. He played his first 10 years of his career in Detroit. We played him twice a year. We know what Matthew Stafford can do. In a dome on Thanksgiving Day in perfect conditions, we know what Matthew Stafford can do. God, it's all I can think about. It's like all I can think. I just want this week to go by so that we can get to Sunday night, which also sucks for me. Think about it this way. Sunday night. Because my weekend is ruined. The absolute last thing of the weekend is the number one thing that I am waiting for. So that means I won't get to enjoy Friday night. I won't get to enjoy the regular weekend because I'll spend Friday night going 48 hours, 2 more sleeps until we get to watch the Bears and whatever happens with the Rams. Saturday night's going to be ruined. I'm going to be like, you want to do something Saturday? No, I just want to lay in my closet and stare at the ceiling and wait for Sunday night's football. That's what I want to do Saturday night. My weekend is ruined. And then here's the thing, because this happens with every Bears game. About, start of the second quarter, I'll be like, I ain't watching this anymore. I can't because I've got this whole thing where if I watch, it's bad. But if I don't watch, if I'm in the other room listening to the TV in the other room, shit goes good. And then I come running in and I get to see it. But if I'm actually watching, bad shit happens. That's not true because I've watched all 7 of the comebacks this year. So maybe that's not true. All right, I'm losing my shit, folks. It's football. It's very important to us. We have nothing else. And by we, I mean me. Say hi to the chat. Let's say hi to everybody in the chat room. I haven't done that yet today. I'm just rambling. Look at it. It's 12:47, but on the air for a half hour. Haven't talked about one thing that's in the news. What is in the news? What are we going to get into? Here's what we're going to delve into today. See that Bears thing? Yeah, just before we went on, that whole thing fell and it broke into a bunch of pieces. I had to fix it. You don't need to know. All right, we're going to talk about Iran. We're covering this. This, I believe, is the biggest situation happening on this planet. Iran. So we'll talk a little bit about that, the latest stuff, what's going on with our military and what is their military saying. They're saying some stuff. They're saber rattling. Don't know if that's a good move. They are saber rattling there in Iran, but so are we. We're going to talk about the Department of Justice and their decision. No basis for investigation in the shooting of Renee Good. No basis. We're going to talk about that. But mostly we're going to talk about a new piece of video that emerged out of Minneapolis yesterday that, there's just more video. We'll break it down. So we'll do that. Also, we're going to debunk a story that a lot of you people, not a lot of you people, but a lot of people on the right were sharing about the Minnesota Timberwolves basketball game. And apparently their tribute or their honoring of Renee Good. Yeah, the video that you've seen is AI. So we're going to play that video and then we're going to show you the actual video of what the Minnesota Timberwolves did. And if you're just one of these people who wanted to be angry at a bunch of millionaire black kids who were paying tribute to somebody that they believe was murdered by federal authorities, you're a jerk, okay? You wanted to believe the AI video that was put out there to get everybody mad at the Minnesota Timberwolves. You wanted to believe it, so you did believe it. Well, guess what? It's not real. It's not real. We have the real video, so we'll do that as well. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, we talked about the new ice video. We got a situation with Denmark. That's right. We're gonna go face to face. We're gonna stare down Denmark there, right off the coast of Greenland, I think. So that's coming. We'll tell you the latest about what's happening with them. Kiefer Sutherland got himself in the news. Apparently, he fought an Uber driver. All I saw was the headline. I don't even know the story. We're going to jump into this story together, and we're going to figure out what Kiefer Sutherland's getting into. I do have, as I do often, because I am a man who has lived a life, I do have a personal Kiefer Sutherland story that I may share with you. Back when he was making Flatliners. Remember that movie? Yeah, got a story for you. So we'll do that. Also, I gave it yesterday. So, you know, I think I did the Death Trilogy thing yesterday, and I think I did it with, you know, I did it honorably, right? Mm-hmm. Well, today we're going to talk about how Scott Adams is a dead piece of shit. Okay, we've got video, we've got things that he said. Scott Adams is a dead piece of shit. And if you think I'm going to get roped into this, we don't say things about people when they die like we were forced to do with Charlie Kirk when none of us were able to say that Charlie Kirk is a dead piece of shit. None of us were able to do that. Hey, man, pieces of shit die every fucking day because everybody born into this world dies. Just because someone dies doesn't mean that we have to suddenly treat them like they're an archangel. Scott Adams is a dead piece of shit. And we're going to listen to some of the things that Scott Adams had to say over the years. And you'll see why I call Scott Adams the creator of Dilbert, which is a cartoon for fucking dorks and fat ladies. Dilbert. Oh, you're a Dilbert fan? You fucking weirdo. We're going to talk about Scott Adams. We're going to listen to him and how he feels about black people because he's been on the record about how he feels about black Americans. Scott Adams, dead piece of shit. An investigation. We'll do that. Also, we're going to show some video from fucking Mar-a-Lago, you guys. You got to see the eyes wide shut, billionaire, let them eat cake fucking bullshit that the people, some of you, think they should lead us. Whoa! This Mar-a-Lago video is wild. And then we'll get into Caleb Williams is beefing with Lil Wayne. We'll bring you up to speed on that. We've also got, what else do we have here? Anything else? Yeah, we got that. We might watch some videos. We got fun videos. We got a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff to get to. I don't want to go down this whole list. Whew. That was, yeah, Maddie, that's pretty interesting. That's, isn't that crazy? Maddie's like, no surprise that Elon Musk loves Scott Adams. Oh yeah, the tributes, they're retelling. J.D. Vance, Vice President of the United States, loves Scott Adams. I'm going to run down a list of people who love Scott Adams, who wrote really nice things about Scott Adams, and then we're going to watch some Scott Adams video. Yeah. Just so we know who we're dealing with. Elon Musk is very, well, why wouldn't he be? He's the wealthiest man in the world, but he's very comfortable. He's not worried about anything anymore. Elon Musk has revealed himself to be the fucking born and raised diehard citizen of South Africa that he is. Elon Musk is flat out racist. Flat out fucking racist. The wealthiest man in the world is flat out racist. You should see some of the shit, some of the divisive race baiting bullshit that Elon Musk is twitting endlessly on his own platform. It's crazy. God, he's a garbage person. Jeez Louise. But everybody's a garbage person. I can't find anybody that's not a garbage person. Oh, James Tallarico. There you go. The dude running for Senate in Texas. That fucking guy. He's almost too. He almost seems like too decent a person. He seems like too good a human being to actually, win anything because other human beings aren't good. We're finding this out. They're not good. They like to say game recognizes game, but good, human doesn't recognize human at all. So who knows? They're probably in the DNC. Fucking DNC is probably dumping all their money behind Jasmine Crockett because they think she can win Iowa. Whatever. I know it's for the Senate in Texas. I know it's not a national office, but all of these senators become national figures. So anyway, where was I? I lost my train of thought. Here's what we'll do. Yeah, we'll do this. We'll say hi to the chat room right now. Hi, Al. Al is in the chat room. We've got Maddie in the chat room. We already said that. David Gomer. Hi, David. I don't know. Do I know David? I might know David. We've got Tex Mad. I don't know who that is, but that's a fucking cool last name. That's a cool last name. I like seeing new people in the chat room. Thanks. Tell your friends. Every day at noon, normal talk radio for normal people. Excuse me. We're going to get into a rant here in a second. That's going to be the big story. I'm just trying to see if there's anybody that snuck in that I need to say hello to, because the regulars, Barney's here. Of course, we know Barney's here. My boy Adam's here. April. Ed, Mikey D. All right, everybody, all the earlies are here. I love it. Taronda, KB. Oh, my God. Look at you guys. You make me feel so good. Spread the word. Keep sharing the show. Keep liking. Keep helping the algorithm. It really does help everything. All right, let's get started. Here we go. First big story, and this is the biggest story in my world, and I want to get into this right here. But first, and I have to apologize, I got to go to the bathroom. The goat is here. Oh, hi, Amy. Okay, when I saw Wisconsin and Texas, I thought it was my girl, Amy, but I wasn't sure because the name Madkin, which is such a cool name. That is such a cool, it's like a Norwegian, German kind of name. Sorry, Amy. All right, hold on, guys. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to come right back. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pee real quick. I'm going to refill my coffee, and then we're going to do the show. And if I can do that right now, that means we will have an uninterrupted at least hour and a half of me freelance screaming and all of that stuff. So give me a break. We'll come right back. Amy, Wisconsin, Tex, and Mac in German for girl. There you go. All right. All right, quick break. Seriously, be right back. All right, here we go. We're back. Thank you, folks. Appreciate it. There you go, Barney. Barney's my guy. Look at Barney, man. He's always got my back. I will always have your back, Barney. Thank you. All right. First of all, I should mention we got breaking news here. The Danish and Greenlandic officials are speaking after a meeting at the White House. Yeah, we're going to talk about the whole Greenland situation, but right now, what are they saying? You know what? Don't worry. I don't care. What do they speak in Greenland? You know what I mean? Like I went to, I don't know if it's the same thing. It seems like it's, Wisconsin and Minnesota. I went to Iceland. I love Iceland. Have you ever been to Iceland? You simply must go. It is just like the most amazing place I have ever visited on this planet. If you ever wanted to leave the planet and see what another planet might look like, the closest thing you can get is going to Iceland. Iceland looks like another planet. It is just amazing. Anyway, Greenland is right next door. What do they speak in Greenland? Because in Iceland, everybody spoke English. Everybody, but they spoke English in that like cute Norwegian kind of, it's like, can't even do it. Bjork. There you go. Bjork. You familiar with the Sugar Cubes or the performer Bjork? That's how they talk. Something like that. So anyway, the Danish foreign minister calls Trump's threats to take over Greenland remarkable. Okay, so we'll get into that in a second. But first, we're going to talk about Iran. We got some stuff going on over there. Obviously, the last couple of weeks, they've seen massive demonstrations and protests by ordinary, everyday, persecuted Iranian citizens. I think that's what you get when you are a citizen of Iran. You get persecution and you get this regime, this fundamentalist Islamic regime foisted on people who just 2 generations earlier were, picking up chicks in bars and listening to rock and roll, wearing blue jeans and, all that kind of stuff. So it's not, I say this when I talk to people about Texas too. People look like, I guess if you're a certain age, you look at Iran and you go, those people are just crazy fundamentalists. And I'm like, not really, man. They're great. There was a generation of Iranians back in 1979 who were in college who decided that, maybe they ought to make this radical change. And somehow they were successful. And the whole country became this thing since 1980. So 45 years, the Islamic Revolution. But those people who live there, obviously they're not all bought in, because over the course of the last 15 years or so, we have seen, every couple of years, major demonstrations blow up there in Iran. Those people, remember, those people have grandparents. Those people have a grandma who is now wrapped in fucking cloth, can't go outside or show an ankle. They have a grandma who used to smoke fucking Virginia Slims and bartend. They're not that far removed from being a Western kind of civilization. So, this is not going well there. And I say that it's kind of like Texas, because I run into people all the time. Who are like, go Texas. People outside of Texas see Texas as the Taliban. They see Texas as the American Taliban. Texas and Florida were like, my God, these elected officials are just pandering to the absolute worst citizens, and everybody else is forced to go along with it. Texas went right a couple of years ago, like 98. When was it when George Bush got elected? Texas has only been crazy far right for about 10 years. Texas was a normal Republican conservative state until everybody sold out to Trump and MAGA, and then they just fucking leaned into their absolute worst tendencies of being conservatives. Fucking terrible. People tell me all the time, well, Texas will never go blue. Yeah, it will. You have a whole population of people who remember Ann Richards. You have a whole population. You have roads and lakes and towns named after the fucking Johnson family. You can't tell. I don't know how much is named after like arch right-wing conservatives in Texas political history, but almost everything, Connolly, Johnson, everything is named after people who were of the blue persuasion. So don't tell me that Iran isn't going to flip, and then don't tell me that it's impossible for Texas to get fucking sensible. Don't tell me that. These things are not that far in the past. These are things that people remember. So Iran, here's some updates about what's going on in Iran. The United States military has been evacuated from Qatar. Apparently we had a whole bunch of, was that the deal? They gave Trump the cool fucking plane and he committed our sons and daughters to defending, on bases in Qatar. Is that what it was? So now your sons and daughters who are protecting fucking interests in Qatar, which as far as I can tell, U.S. interests in Qatar are that giant jumbo jet that they gifted the president of the United States. They gave him a plane. That's not allowed. It's not allowed, but it is now. It is now. It's allowed now because someone did it and everyone was afraid to say anything to the orange fucking future convict. We are keeping a list of the people who caved. We are keeping a list of the cowards who are there supposedly running our government. We are keeping a fucking list. And by the way, we weren't a couple of weeks ago. This is all since the stepped up ICE bullshit. This is all, it's got to stop now. It's got to stop now. We got to fucking put these people in their place. Can't wait for the midterms. Can't wait for the which by the way, God, the midterms are going to be awesome. It's just going to be awesome. Everybody's going to get rounded up. Everybody's going to get put in jail. I'm sorry. I know you don't want to hear this, but the blue wave is coming. And I'm not even happy about that. I'm just happy about an opposition wave coming to wipe this scum off the history books of America. U.S. military in Qatar have been evacuated, and Iran is telling all of its citizens to prepare for attacks on U.S. bases and U.S. interests in the region. Saber rattling. I mean, that's Iran telling its people. Iran isn't telling its people, hey, be safe because we think America is going to attack. Iran is telling its people, who most of them are in the streets protesting this exact government. They're telling their people, hey, we're going to attack America first. So that's what's happening in Iran. Let's see, what else do we have here? World waits to hear if an Iran execute. Oh yeah, this is the big. This is apparently the linchpin. Because Trump said a while back, a couple weeks now at this point, he said when the protests started, he said, if they begin executing protesters, the United States will not stand by, blah, 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 whatever he said. He says a lot of shit. He doesn't even remember anything that he says. Do you remember when he told us we were all getting $2,000 checks? Like 6 months ago, you're all getting $2,000 checks. Love me, daddy. You remember when he did that? Yeah, well, 2 days ago, he was asked about those $2,000 checks, and he went, did I say that? Did I? And you fucking people are like, that's my guy. That's my guy. Wait, how does it work? Haven't had a blowjob in so long. There it is. That's how it works. That's how it works. What $2,000 checks? Did I say that I was going to start bombing Iran if they executed people? Well, here we are. World is waiting to find out if Iran is going to execute a 26-year-old shopkeeper who they arrested during protests. He's due to be executed today, so let's see how this goes. It says here, Donald Trump has vowed very strong action if Iran executes a pro-democracy protester, with the world waiting to find out if he is hanged overnight. Relatives of the 26-year-old shopkeeper, Irfan Soltani. Remember his name. Irfan, remember his name. Say his name. Who's the other one? Wasn't there some other girl with Netta? Remember Netta? Hey, look at that. I remembered her name. Fucking look at me. I remembered Netta's name. Remember her name. She was like the one 5 years ago that got shot in the face by a sniper. She was just out there like, she's like, yay, the Ayatollah sucks. And then her head blew up, and then the whole world was like, remember her name. And then everybody fucking went home, and it was 5 more years of oppression. Thanks, Netta. A lot of people in America sold t-shirts with your picture on it, so that's good for them. Anyway, we're back. We're back. And now we've got this guy, Irfan Soltani. He was detained last week, and he's due to be executed today. Now, you know, you got to say it. You got to give it to him. The Iranian system of justice seems to be much quicker than the American. Don't know if it's as thorough. Don't know if there's due diligence going on there in Iran. But look at this. He was arrested last week. He's due to be executed yesterday. Let's see here. If they hang him, they're going to see some things, the U.S. president told CBS News on Tuesday evening. He added, if they want to have protests, that's one thing. When they start killing thousands of people, moving the goalposts, he just moved the goalposts. It went from, if they execute this guy, to now, a couple of sentences later, if they start killing thousands of people, I'm going to have to do something. Irfan it's his name, Irfan. Irfan is feared to have become the first person executed over his participation in protests, which have rocked Iran and left hundreds of innocent civilians dead. One doctor gave a harrowing update to the RFE. I don't know what that is. I don't know what the RFE is. I'm sure the R, this is a British newspaper that I'm reading this from, so I'm sure the R stands for royal or something like that. And by the way, I have to use British newspapers because the American media is not mentioning the Iran situation at all. At all. And I'm not saying that it should be the top story because there are a lot of things going on in the world. But I saw cable news last night on two different occasions, two different channels, spend a good 20-minute segment on the auto worker who flipped off Trump and never once mentioning Iran in the global shift that is occurring. Nah, they couldn't be bothered with that because we don't understand that because we're stupid. And they know that people who watch cable news are stupid people who don't want to be stupid. They want to feel like they know shit. So they watch Fox News and they get shit put in their head and then they repeat it. And they're like, no, I'm smart. I'm smart at lunch, at work. I say things that I heard Jesse Waters say. And everybody goes, he's smart. Anyway, these fucking morons that watch cable news, they can't handle any kind of international thing. It's got to be about something simple. So, yeah, that was the big story last night. Oh, my God, Pearl Clutch. Trump flipped off a citizen, and we'll get into that. But that's not nearly as big a story as what's fucking happening in Iran. Keeping an eye on that. Let's see. What else do we have? I'm going to try and go into the chat room after every story that I do. This is a way that I think will make it better for us to, give and take and all of that kind of shit. Let's see here. Amy says she's already forgotten about the $5,000 checks. Yeah, we're all supposed to get paid from Doge too. Swear to fucking God. All right, let's move on to some other things because I can only be angry at our executive for so long. So let's move on to stuff that doesn't get me angry at them. Oh, nope, can't do that. So yesterday we told you the story about the 3 prosecutors who resigned because they were being forced to focus their investigation into the Renee Good shooting in Minneapolis. They were being forced to focus their investigation on Renee Good. Okay. This is what they were told. They're like, hey, so we're going to need access to the cops, this or that. And they said, no, you're not. You're just going to focus on her. She's the one that we're going to. So 3 legitimate, lifelong, seemingly bureaucrats who are just investigators. They said, yeah, that's corruption. We're resigning. So they all walked out yesterday. About 2 hours later, the Department of Justice announced that there is no basis for an investigation into the shooting of Renee Good. No basis. Did you connect the dots there, people? 3 people who were a part of the investigation said this investigation is corrupt and we are willing to resign our careers over our integrity. And then an hour later, they put out a release that said, yeah, there's nothing here. I don't know. We investigated. The investigators quit. And then you release a statement saying there's nothing to investigate. The level of obvious corruption that we, the people, are able to fucking take these days is unbelievable. But the people doing all the corruptions are the ones who said, drain the swamp. And so you bought into that. So now you can't possibly imagine that they lied to you because that would make you a fucking fool. Are you a fucking fool? What else do we got? All right, here, I want to debunk some bullshit here. Okay, look, I don't like the fucking libtards any more than you do. I think that they're irritating as fuck. I don't, they're as irritating as, the old dude in line at the MAGA rally wearing the I'd rather vote for Putin t-shirt. So, yeah, I mean, we got irritating on both sides. I can be honest with you when I tell you that I do not believe that I would be friendly at all with Renee Good. If I knew her in real life, I don't think we would be friendly. I think that Renee Good would irritate the fuck out of me if we lived in the same apartment complex and she was the neighbor. I mean, hey, how are you? You're making too much. She just seems like that. I'm sorry. She just seems like that. Now, that doesn't make her a bad person. It just makes her a different kind of person, the kind of person that I choose not to spend time with. So there you go. That's probably how our two personality types would have coexisted. Not great. Wouldn't have had a lot in common. Hey, Renee, you want to come over and watch the Bears game? No, football's too violent. See, it was, you know what I mean? So I don't... That said, she didn't deserve to get shot in the face. Tell you that. That said, with mine own eyes, I watched what happened. She was turning away and trying to flee. Was she an irritating protester? Yeah. Is that her right as an American to be an irritating protester? Yeah. Do you agree with that? No. Well, then you're not a fucking American and get the fuck off my stream. She was not breaking any rules. She was speaking truth to power, the one thing that allows us, the citizens of this country, to bow our chests out and feel like we are better than everyone else, because that is a codified rule of being a citizen of the United States. Truth to power. The right to say, we made a mistake in this election and these people are fucking bad. We're allowed to say that without getting sent to the gulag. That's what being an American is. And that's what she was doing. Irritating? Sure. Does she have the right to do it? Yeah. But she was fleeing police orders. Yeah. Yeah, she was. She's trying to get the fuck out of there. Yeah, she was trying to get the fuck out of there. She's like, yeah, no, you're trying to arrest me. Now I'm going to get the fuck out of here. She cranked the wheel, backed up, and moved away from the officers. It was the officer. What was the officer's name? Jonathan Ross. Isn't that the name of a bad comedian from the 90s? Anyway, the officer is the one who was like, no, you're not going anywhere. And he lost that battle because it was a car versus him. But the very suggestion that she's a domestic terrorist and that she was trying to run down intentionally and kill police officers is a fucking lie, and our administration is leaning into it, and we can't have that. Can't have it. So anyway, Minnesota's, they're in the barrel. It's their turn in the barrel. Well, whatever. I don't know. I think it's probably because of Tim Walz, right? Tim Walz dared to be on the same ticket as Kamala. Let's fuck with Minnesota now. Minnesota people, objectively, the kindest people in the entire country. Their entire moniker, their brand is Minnesota Nice. That's a real thing. But no, we're gonna fucking make those people the worst representation of Americans possible. You're insane. You're insane, and I'm not playing your insane game anymore, okay? So the Timberwolves story, the Minnesota Timberwolves, their basketball team, an NBA team. In Minnesota, they held a moment of silence for Renee Good. So did the Chicago Bulls, so did the Milwaukee Bucks, so did the Los Angeles Lakers, Come on, man. This is actually in their town. Of course they've got to address it. So they held a moment of silence for the situation that happened a few blocks away from the stadium in their city. Makes perfect sense to me. But of course the right couldn't handle that. The right had to lie, because that's what they do. No, I'm sorry, not the right, because I've got friends who are on the right. I got friends who are proud to be right-leaning conservatives. MAGA. It's MAGA. It's the fucking ones. It's the people in your little group of right who has the BO. In your little group of friends, you're like, somebody's got the fucking BO. Well, in the group of right conservatives, it's the fucking MAGA pieces of shit who have the BO. They're like, oh, fuck. This guy stinks. Get away from him. My conservative, Republican, right-leaning, decent friends, get the fuck away from these people. Because we're not going to forget. We're not going to forget. So the story concerning the Timberwolves was this, and it was posted on Twitter, and it went viral, and it got a whole bunch of people. We should read some of the chats, some of the comments from the stupid people who believed it. Here's the premise. The premise of this video is this is how the Minnesota Timberwolves mourned or paid tribute to Renee Good. Is it Renee or Rachel? I don't know, whatever. Here you go. This is what was going around. Let's watch. This is what they did. Now, remember, it says here for you, in case you don't know what you're seeing, they're going to hold your hand and spoon feed you all the lies. So it says right here, Minnesota Timberwolves pierce their noses and dye their hair and wear knit hats in honor of Renee and her wife during the national anthem. That's what went around. That's what was being shared, and that's what got all kinds of attention. Only on the stupid MAGA right, though. Not like normal people were like, what? Look at that. Look at them. They're all dyeing their hair like Renee. A bunch of them went and got nose rings. I mean, if you're a racist piece of shit, this video is going to make you even fucking madder, because how dare these young black men defend something that they see as oppression from the government? How dare they? So that's the video. It's the video that went out. And here's what makes this even worse. The phony fucking account is Dr. Jebra Fashay. She's a doctor, so we can trust her. You know what? I'm changing my name on Twitter. I'm now going to be Senator Pugs Moran. Senator fucking Pugs Moran. My tweets deserve more weight from morons, so I'm going to put Senator or maybe Congressman. You know, that that was a trick that I learned from a radio friend of mine. Whenever he was traveling out of town, and like you say, I had to go to New York for the weekend, and he wants like a really good reservation at a place, he would have his assistant call the restaurant and make a reservation. I used to do it a couple of different ways, but the one that I always thought was most funny was they just make up a name. So like Tom Jackson, let's just say that's the name. So the assistant would call the restaurant for my DJ friend and would say, "Hi, I'm calling from Representative Tom Jackson's office. He's going to be in town over the weekend and would really love a table." So he got all of these restaurants that booked him thinking he was a congressman. Anyway, I can do that on Twitter. Dr. Jebra is doing it right here. All right, so this is a lie, and you probably wanted to believe it because you're stupid, and you like to believe the things you want to believe. Why was that a lie? That was all AI. That was all AI. Those players, not how, go look at the Minnesota Timberwolves. That is not how they look. They didn't all dye their hair. They didn't all dress like lesbians. It's not a thing. But Dr. Jebra wanted to put that out there, not because it's true, but because she knows that she can control you if you're pissed. So she's pissing you off. And that is the secret sauce of the right. They keep MAGA. Again, I don't want to say that about the MAGA. The secret sauce of fucking MAGA is to keep you pissed off. And it doesn't matter if it's something that you should be legitimately pissed off about. They own you when you're pissed. They own you. Stop being this stupid. So here's the real video. Suppose we could show the real video. Let's see. Where is it? Yeah, okay. So this is what it looked like. The players weren't even on the field. It wasn't even during the national anthem. Here's the video. Hold on. Wait, they're making me sign in? Oh, for fuck's sake. Hold on. I don't want to sign in. Oh, Jesus. All right, I'm sorry. Before the show, this video was readily available. There was no problem with it. All right, never mind. We're moving on. Anyway, the video wasn't the actual situation at the Timberwolves game was simply an announcement of a moment of silence. And during that moment of silence, hundreds of people started yelling, "Fuck ICE," which is their right as Americans. But yeah, that was it. It wasn't during the national anthem, and all the Timberwolves player didn't cosplay as lesbians from fucking St. Paul. It's not what happened. But they wanted you to think that's what happened because they fucking own you, or at least they think they own you. Do they? That's a question for you. Do they still own you? Jesus, that upsets me. Oh, that's upsetting. All right, let's keep going. I wish I could find the video of the real thing, because the real thing was so fucking understated. At this time, the Minnesota Timberwolves would like a moment of silence for the passing of Renee Good. Fuck guys! Fuck. And that was it. And it was over. And then it was like, yeah, let's play basketball. That was it. But that wasn't good enough. So they had to create an AI thing to make you fucking angry at a bunch of 23-year-old black kids because they know how to get you. Because that's the shit that makes you mad. Black kids who at 23 years old have more money than you and your parents could ever hope to gather in a lifetime. And you're angry about that because America's for white people. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Like and share the show. Like and share the show. Like and share the show. All right, so no basis for a Department of Justice investigation. The Timberwolf story is absolute bullshit. And now we've got some new video. So let's show you, you'd think, hey, I'm sure they started to tamp things down after the Renee Good shooting. I'm sure that no, that's not what's happening. They're more emboldened than ever. Let's watch this video. This comes to us from yesterday. Now again, the context of this, which I can only go. Hold on. So the context of this, as presented, is that this is, and by the way, she was not a protester. She was legitimately just a citizen of Minnesota who found herself stuck in the middle of this fucking ICE raid. So, yes, believe it or not, when ICE does a raid and then 300 protesters show up, there are still normal people who are running to the 7-Eleven who get caught up in all of that. And a lot of times, I told you the story about how I used to purposely get stuck in Black Lives Matter traffic coming home from downtown Chicago like 10 years ago. I want to go this way because I think there's a Black Lives Matter protest. I used to love it. I used to just watch it. I'd sit in traffic. I'd be like, look at these crazy people. On both sides, whatever. This is the American process inconveniencing me on my way home. So anyway, this woman apparently was going to a doctor's appointment. That's what she says. And apparently at some point in the video, she says it too. She's got caught in traffic. And then she just started getting screamed at by dudes that look like fucking SS officers. And she probably didn't handle it well. And this is what they did. By the way, she's an American citizen, complete American citizen, 100% an American citizen. This is just a woman who lives in Minnesota. But she looks a little brown. She ain't white. She ain't white. Minnesota likes their white people. She ain't white. So let's watch this video. Here we go. This is from yesterday in Minnesota. Now, you tell me if you think that this is the way that our federal masked troops should be treating citizens who are just fucking stuck in traffic and pissed off at the inconvenience. What, you never get pissed off in traffic? People in traffic are ready to go off. Here you go. So now let me put you right here, okay? She's stuck. She's apparently trying to turn around, which is what the witnesses were saying. She's stuck. She's trying to get out of this fucking traffic jam, and they misinterpret her for being just a troublemaking protester who's trying to make their lives more miserable. Now she's upset because she's just trying to get the fuck out of there, and now she's got all of these guys screaming at her. And by the way, if you're a woman behind the wheel in Minnesota, I don't know if I want to just drive away. A lot of people are like, why didn't she just drive away? Because the last time a woman drove away from some very confusing, what are they telling her to do? They were just telling her, we're watching this video. They were just telling her to go. And now they're trying to pull her out of the car. Is she supposed to keep going? Is she supposed to listen to that guy? Or, well, my God, if she now that they're trying to get her out of the car, even though they just told her to move, if she decides to move, they're going to shoot her in the face because we've seen that. We've seen that. This is mayhem. This is chaos in our fucking streets. All right, so now this is where people are like, well, why didn't she go? Why didn't she just drive away? Why didn't she just drive away? Well, a couple of things are going on here. Humans are complicated, and she's probably fucking pissed. And maybe she doesn't have full control. This is a very tense moment going on right here. You've got obvious protesters, you've got obvious jackbooted thugs, and then you've got obvious civilians who are now fucking, who knows what side she's on? She's a civilian. She's probably against ICE, as everybody in these neighborhoods are. But it doesn't mean that, what is she supposed to do here? They have told her to stop. Now she's got an opening. Are they still trying to get her out of the car? Or if she pulls away, are they going to open fire? Because they can do that now. Remember, this was just about an hour or so before the Department of Justice announced that there would be no investigation. There's not enough evidence to investigate the Renee Good shooting. So these fucking jackbooted Nazi thugs are probably feeling really all about themselves. So why not squeeze off a couple on this brown bitch as she tries to get away? All right, now they're telling, go that way. They're now telling her to go that way.
Back the fuck up.
Oh, no, maybe that was for a protester. All right, that guy, Eero, was telling her to go. Wasn't he? Wasn't he just pointing, telling her to go? Let's see. These people are not professional. They're not military. They don't have any real discipline in how to execute the job they've been tasked with. These are all a bunch of people who answer wanted ads. These are a bunch of Dunkin' Donuts security guards who weren't allowed to be Metropolitan Police guys in their own town because they couldn't pass the fucking mental fitness exam. So now they're here doing this, giving conflicting orders to citizens. If you are a motherfucking citizen and you see this and you automatically fucking relate to the guy in the uniform, you are a bootlicking piece of shit who are turning against your own people. That's who you are. Thank you. I can really get myself going. This is why I'm so chill in real life. This is why I'm such a people. You're so calm. It's because I get to do this every day. I get to go off. I get to vent. All right, let's see how this happens. It's a mess. This is a fucking mess. Oh, they just broke her window. Did you see that? They just went to the other side and smashed her window. Watch. No, this isn't an unnecessary escalation. Watch, here he goes. This guy's come over here. There he is, this guy right here. See him in the mask? So we don't know who he is? We're going to find out who all of these fucking people are. Oh, yeah. Just wait till the dust settles here. Wait till the dust settles. We'll find out. I'm sure there will be plenty of podcasts and live streams on YouTube where we go through the list of all the people that ICE hired. Yeah, we're going to remember who you people were. Fucking Nazis. Here he is, just smashing her window. Eero, this guy right here seems to still be telling her to drive that way. She's got her hands up. She's like, calm down. All right, now she's... Well, based on the other, incident from last week, I don't know why they didn't just open fire. Every single one of these guys should have, her car lurched forward. Every single one of them should have pulled their gun and pumped 6 rounds right into this brown bitch's face. Why didn't that happen? What are they, pussies? My God, if we're gonna have Nazis, let's have them be at least good Nazis, not fucking pussies. Here we go. The fuck is Arrow? Here it is, an American citizen dragged out of her car. They cut her seatbelt. Look at them, they're gonna cut her seatbelt. They smashed her window. Apparently she does have a disability and she was trying to get to her fucking doctor's office, and this is how this happened. If you think these are the motherfucking good guys, you're one of the bad guys. All right, I can't do any more. There you go. It's still happening. That's how they're treating citizens. Now, you folks, my friends here in Texas, you have no fucking idea. You have no fucking idea. Because they're letting you, hey, there's no illegals in Texas. We know that. There's no illegals. Oh, they did a couple of fucking surface sweeps around Dallas. And yeah, they did all that stuff. But man, the way they are going after democratic cities and democratic citizens ought to send a fucking chill through all of your spine, because God damn it, did you see that video of Mandami in New York? Did you see that? This fucking guy, this mayor of New York, he can't walk through the streets without tens of thousands of people hanging out the windows, throwing shit at him. It wasn't AI. It was real. That guy is a fucking phenomena, and he's coming, and he ain't good either. So motherfuckers, when the pendulum swings back, and it's fucking that guy, and all of the baggage that he brings, be prepared. And remember, it was me in the middle going, you fucking people are blowing this. The pendulum's going to swing back. They are going to get their pound of flesh. It ain't a good thing, man. It ain't a good thing. We need the pendulum to swing back midway. We don't need the pendulum to swing all the way fucking to Bernie and Mandami and AOC, but that's what you're going to get. That's what you're going to get, because you're pushing this shit too far. Too far. Swing back like right here. Right? Can we all right, so we're over here with crazy Trump MAGA, and then we got to swing. Hold on, how am I doing this? Then we got to swing. Let's stop right here. Let's stop at fucking Trent Lott. let's stop it. Let's stop at Al Gore. Let's just stop somewhere in the middle. Instead of swinging all the way to Mandami and whatever the hell that change is going to bring to the United States, because that, trust me, that overcorrection of this MAGA bullshit is going to be a nightmare for all of us. Maddie's got an answer for me. She says, ARROW means enforcement and removal operations. Tax dollars at work. We've got so many fucking cool 3-letter organizations that are probably funded to the tune of about $10 billion a year. Cool jackets, guys. Enforcement and removal operations. All right, so that's what it means. ARROW means enforcement and removal operations. So they could have added security. That would have been good, because you want it to be ARROWs. You want it to be a little bit sexy. Could have been ARROWs. Enforcement and removal operations services. There you go. Whatever. You can make these things. You make them do whatever you want. We got here we go. We got Amy says people believe this video with the obnoxious singing. Yeah, well, that was part of it. We're talking about the AI video from the Timberwolves game. They wanted to make sure that it was also a bastardization of the national anthem. So all of it was created to elicit a fucking response from the dumbest among us. One more break. Gotta pee again. Sorry. It's happening. Guys, I'm sorry. I gotta pee really quick. So I'm gonna pee and I'm gonna come back and then we're gonna get into the Pedo Protector. By the way, this show is my fucking rants. My rants against MAGA is fucking affecting this show. Okay? People are bailing. People are like, yeah, no, I'm a Trump guy. You know, Trump's Pug's all right when he's in the middle, but now that he's taking a stand, I can't handle it anymore. You fucking, my friends on the left that appreciate this kind of content, share this fucking show. Tell your fucking friends. God damn it. Thank you. I gotta pee. I can't do this. Hey, what is this? Look at this. Show you this. What's CNN doing? That's a CNN reporter wearing like a hijab. Barney and Byron ain't gonna like that. Like, what? No, I'm kidding. I have to use them as two friends of mine who I like, who been hanging out on the radio for years. I have to use them as the example of, but that's okay. I'm sure that they fucking hate when I do this stuff too. That's fine. All right, I gotta pee. All right, I'm gonna pee and I'll be right back. Hold on. This is gonna be a thing. I told you I discovered a coffee maker here at the Kelly Moore North Studio. So now I'm gonna be making coffee while the show is going on. All righty, here we go. Here we go. Barney gets it. Barney gets it. He's here for the abuse. No, I mean, look, everybody who knows me in my real life, who knows me personally, knows that I don't judge people based on those kinds of things. And that this is sort of a performative, just I'm having fun and I'm ranting. And, I still live in a world where I can fucking hate you for being a Green Bay Packers fan and still consider, giving you a blood transfusion if you need it. I don't really hate people based on singular choices that they make, whether that be political or, now there are a few exceptions, right? If you have singularly chosen to abuse children, you can't be my friend anymore. That's, but this idea that we just eliminate people from our lives because they irritate us with their opinions or because they think a little bit differently or maybe see a little bit differently, the idea of removing them from our lives is going to have some kind of terrible domino-like effect on humanity. We have to have people in our lives that tell us things different from what the programming tells us. We must have it. We've got to have different points of view. You can't possibly tell me that at whatever age you are now, that you see the world and think the same way that you did 20 years ago. Because if you do, then you're not growing. Then you're not experiencing life. Everything is different. I am way different than what I was back then. There was shit back then that I just, never mind. All right, let's keep going. Here we go. Let's go. The show is, we lost everybody with the anti-ice raids, which is so weird because we did the story yesterday about how 63% of America thinks, well, apparently that 63% isn't watching my fucking YouTube channel every day at noon. Let's talk about the Pedo Protector. Oh, God, really? Do we have to do this story now? Because this is another one that's going to get me fucking going off. So the President of the United States went to Detroit, the auto industry there in Detroit, Ford plant. I don't know what he was doing, trying to get a fucking new Bronco for Barron. He's going off to school. Sure would be nice. He had a new Ford Bronco. He's at the Ford plant. And while he's at the Ford plant, some blue-collar, hardworking, all-American son of a bitch decided to take this opportunity to utilize his First Amendment right and speak truth to power. And as the president is walking by, he yells, "Pedophile protector, pedophile protector." And the president of the United States flipped him off and said, "Fuck you, bub," or whatever. President of the United States. It's how the president of the United States responded to a citizen who was upset that the president of the United States is not following through on a pretty foundational promise, which was to release the Epstein files and expose all of this shit. And yet in MAGA circles, the guy who's like, Pedo Protector, that guy in MAGA circles, you're mad at him now. He's bad. He's a libtard, forgetting that he's a fucking union auto worker. He is exactly the kind of American that either party, Democrat or Republican, would love to be able to count among their ranks. But no, now because this guy who incidentally has voted for Trump 3 times, according to the Detroit Free Press, voted for him 3 times. He's a Trump supporter who is fucking upset about the obvious cover-up that is happening with Drain the Swamp. Obvious cover-up that is occurring with the Epstein files, all at the behest at the president, the pedophile in chief, as I like to call him. Pedo Protector was yelled. Fuck you, bub. There are so many moving parts in this. I mean, where do we even start? I mean, he is a pedo protector. He is protecting pedophiles because some of them are friends of his, which leads to the question, he's comfortable being friends with pedophiles. I mean, it is a butterfly effect of bad fucking things. So he is the pedophile protector. He is protecting these wealthy people who fucked your kids. Your kids. They're not fucking Ivanka's friends. They're fucking the daughter of the guy who cleans their fucking backyard. I don't know. He is the pedo protector. And as I said yesterday, I think he's a pedophile. I absolutely do. You know, a couple of weeks ago, I was like, I don't, he's friends with pedophiles. But no, I mean, I've seen some stuff and I've learned some things about how these people, especially Europeans, over from the dawn of time, the European fucking 1%, and I guess they used to call them monarchy or whatever, the European 1% have been just systematically abusing poor fucking kids since, time began. It's what they do. Why? Because they can do anything. Because the rules don't apply to them. That's the mentality of this person, this kind of individual. The kind of individual who many of you think has our back. They've got our back. I'm going to vote for the billionaire and all the billionaire's friends and all the Fox TV News Weekend people. I'm going to vote for them because they've got our back. Meanwhile, they're having fucking eyes wide shut type parties at Mar-a-Lago every weekend, and lesbians are getting shot in the face in Minneapolis. What the fuck is happening? Wake up. All right. So, something weird just happened. Hold on. Oh, fudge. Hold on. Something weird just happened, guys. I'm sorry. What the fuck? I hate Restream and I hate whatever this new system. I'm screwed right now, guys. We're gonna have to end the show because for some reason Restream just started another fucking stride. I didn't touch anything. How the fuck do I get back to my show? God damn it. Hold on, give me a second here, guys. You can probably still see me. I don't know if you can or not. But for some goddamn reason, there we are. Boop. What the? Oh. Hello. This is fucking bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. Guys, I've lost the show. I don't know where the show went. I don't know what to do. The show is gone. The window's gone. I can't get the show back. I don't even know if I'm still fucking streaming. So here we go. New show coming in a minute. Fuck. Probably still fucking streaming. The computer is completely down and we're probably still fucking streaming. I'm so angry. But I'll get over it and we'll be right back. We'll start a new show. All right, are we back? I don't know if we're back. You guys, if you're hearing this, I don't know if we're back. Maybe we don't have to start another stream. I can't. I'll just wait. If we're back, we're back, and it will continue. But man, I am telling you, I have the weirdest. This computer has been doing weird shit since we started. You know, it just signs us off in the middle of every show. Like all of a sudden the camera will go out and then well, it's been doing good. Thank you, Maddie. Okay, we're back. Well, it's been doing what just happened as well, which is where I'll be in the middle of talking and then all of a sudden I'll get a new screen that says start a new stream. And this screen, the screen that you're seeing, the screen that I'm running the show off disappears, goes away. And then I go to the window that they say start a new stream and I hit the new stream and then it's a new stream. And all of a sudden I hear echo in my headphones because I got two streams going, but I can't find the original stream. So here we are. Anyway, I am a computer idiot. Not hearing through the computer. All right, that's good. Thank you. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate that. That's important. There we go. All right. Of course. And now the computer doesn't recognize the microphone. It's like, yeah, there's no microphone. There's no microphone for you to use. Fucking plug it in again. What's going on? Nope. Still no microphone. Motherfucker. Unbelievable. Hold on, give me a second. Unbelievable. I'm not touching anything. I'm not touching any. My hands are here. I sit like this. I'm not touching anything. Okay, all right, let's see. Nah, still not working. Nah, still not fucking. No, I know you hear me, but you don't hear me properly. Oh, there it is now. Now you do. See, because all you got to do is just do it 5 times. And on the 5th time, it'll be like, oh, I see what you're trying to do. Okay. I'm in a bad mood. I'm in a bad mood now, and I should be in a good mood because you people are the light of my life. You people are the reason that I came in here. I braved a blizzard this morning. I came here to do this. And we've lost another 10 people because of that nonsense. At some point, I don't know what the hell you people are coming back here for every day. I got no idea what you guys... It's just a fucking madman screaming about shit that irritates him. That's all this show is. Thank you, though. All right. Hopefully everything is working good. Let's just reset the show, right? We'll just go like, hey, it's the second half of the show. Although it's not the second half because poor Rob Barr and I have been trying to get together every fucking day. And we've had nothing but problems. And now I'm having computer problems. So we'll see. Well, Rob Barr, of course, in the chat room as Witch Kitty. He's a buddy of mine. He's an old buddy of mine from back in the day. Not as old a buddy as, who do we got? We got Kevin. Not as old a buddy as that. Amy says, technology F's with me daily. I think it just doesn't like me. I have to ask my husband for help and he'll literally do the same thing I did and then it works. Yeah, that's basically what happens. I mean, there's we who grew up in the analog era of gears and mechanized technology, we understand when it doesn't work, it's because of something that we can open up the back and poke around and we can see. Oh, I see why this isn't work. There's something jamming the gear. Let me get that out of there and now it'll work. That was how we were raised. TV doesn't work. Give it a good smack because it's something that's in the back and it'll rattle and it'll get better. And that's how shit got fixed. This computer stuff is a whole different thing. This computer stuff doesn't play by those rules. This computer stuff just decides it wants to act wonky whenever it fucking wants to act wonky, and there ain't nothing that we can do about it. I hate it. I hate it. The goat is here. The goat says, because we've been with you since the 2000s. Okay. All right. That's why you just tune in to a guy who is ranting about nonsense. I appreciate that. I really do. And I appreciate that you've been with me since 2006. All right. Let's see here. What else do we have? 20 years. 20 years. Our relationship will be able to legally drink next year. That's pretty cool. All right, where are we? I don't even know what we left off on. I know that I don't want to talk about Trump anymore. I know that I don't want to do that. I'm just so tired of being angry about the way the government seems to be just fucking flipping us off. Oh, but we've got to, right? Because all that stuff went to shit when I was talking about our hero. Hold on. Where is it? Our hero, this guy. Let's watch the video. Is this a video? This looks a video. Okay, so this is what happened when Trump went to the Ford plant yesterday. He is the pedo in chief, and the working class are now chiming in. They're just until I die. They're not. Here we go. And by the way, we're going to learn all about this guy in a second. Look at it. He just pointed. The president of the United States pointed at a citizen and said, "Fuck you." Well, the guy called him a pedo, don't you? No, you say that, and I say fuck you to somebody who does that, but the leader of the free world doesn't, because we expect there to be a little bit more elegance, a little bit more sophistication, a little bit more decorum. But not this fucking clown, not this guy. Hey, fuck you, buddy, I'm untouchable. I'm convicted of 37 fucking crimes, and I'm still president. Everybody knows all my running buddies are pedophiles, and I'm still fucking president. Fuck you, working man. What he just did there. Fuck you, working man. How dare you speak truth to power? Fuck you, he says. Now, there you go. Yeah, give a little flip the bird to him there, you classy piece of garbage. Unbelievable. I know a lot of good Republicans. I know so many good Republicans. All right, so there you have it. That's what went down at the Ford plant yesterday. It is incumbent upon all of us, should we ever find ourselves in a situation where the president of the United States is within earshot, to now yell, "Pedo Protector." It obviously triggers him, and that's what we need to concentrate on. Mockery and triggering, because this fucking guy has the constitution of a 13-year-old girl. He can be gotten, and it bugs him. He is the pedophile protector in chief. All right, so here's what White House Communications Director Stephen Chung, and we're going to explore Stephen Chung's background too, just to make sure that he's got all the T's crossed, I's dotted, and boxes checked, because I don't know. Chung, that doesn't sound all that American. Jamie, can you check on that and make sure Chung is an American name? Because that's the guy who's speaking for the White House. Stephen Chung, White House Communications Director, said in regard to the incident we just watched, a lunatic was wildly screaming expletives in a complete fit of rage, and the president gave an appropriate and unambiguous response. Hold on, we got to go back and watch that. I'm sorry, I watched it about a dozen times, and I seem to have missed the lunatic wildly screaming expletives in a complete fit of rage. I missed that. But what do I know? I'm a fucking dumb peasant, and this is Stephen Chung, a great American, speaking for the White House about one of us. Let's watch it one more time. Let me see here. Stephen Chung, fit of rage, lunatic, expletives. Let's see if any of that shit, the official accounting of events from the White House, let's see if any of that matches up. Hold on. Pedophile protector. That's what we heard. We heard pedophile protector, and then we heard a couple of other workers go, woo, after he says that. Here we go. One more time. Pedophile Protector. Woo! Hey, fuck you, pal. That's the event we are watching with our eyes. Okay? Pedophile Protector. Woo! Agreement from the crowd. Hey, fuck you, pal. That's what we're watching. We'll start it again. I want to make sure that we are all seeing the same thing, Barney. I want to make sure we're all seeing the same thing. The only expletives are coming from the President of the United States. Those are the only expletives. This is not a wild lunatic raging out of control. It is a fucking citizen looking at this man who is protecting a bunch of pedophiles and saying, you're a pedophile protector. The expletives came from the president, Stephen Chung. Man wasn't a lunatic. He called him a pedophile protector. Well, I guess in Stephen Chung's fucking cock-smoking world, that makes him a lunatic. If you've got anything in opposition to say to the orange pumpkin in chief, you're a lunatic. White House Communications Director Stephen Chung, describing what we just saw, says that a lunatic was wildly screaming expletives in a complete fit of rage, and the president gave an appropriate and unambiguous response. This from the same people who say that the shooting of Renee Good in the face warrants no investigation. Keep voting. Keep voting against your own best interests because he don't like fucking Hollywood fags just like you. That's what this is about, you fucking morons. All right, so Stephen Chung, let's learn about him. Great American, not an American, not an American. White House Communications Director as well. I don't know. At best, he's an anchor baby, right? At best. Let's learn about Stephen Chung, White House Communications Director. He was born on June 23. That's my mama's birthday. It's my mama's birthday in 1982. Born in California. I don't know. We're going to need to see some documentation on old Stephen Chung, White House Communications Director, great American. White House Communications Director Stephen Chung was born on June 23rd, 1982. He is the son of a Hong Konger parents who immigrated to the United States. His mother was raised in Japan. He's got fucking foreign parents. He's one of them. He ain't white. I know that. I'm speaking to my MAGA friends right now. He's not white. He ain't one of us. And he's speaking for you. That's got to bug you. That doesn't bug you. That one doesn't bug you. You're selectively irritated by brown-skinned people having opinions. But this guy you're all with. Fucking bullshit, man. It's fucking bullshit. And by the way, I hope you all understand that I don't give a shit. I don't have a problem with people who come to this country. I don't have a problem with Stephen Chung if he wasn't a duplicitous liar representing the executive branch of the White House. I wouldn't have a problem with it if he wasn't just openly lying to the people of America about the events that we just watched in that video. But since we're here, his parents are foreigners. What's that? So are Melania's. Really? In fact, there are some questions about Melania's mom and dad and their legal right to be in this country. Well, let's explore that, shall we? But I'm guessing we won't. I'm guessing we won't. The Mexican nanny, however, who raised your kids, she's gone. Fuck her. Fuck her. Because she's a danger. Melania's parents basically raised a prostitute, but yeah, it's the Mexican nanny who is the danger. All right, let's learn a little bit about our hero. The guy who yelled pedophile protector is a 3-time Trump voter. His name is TJ Sabula. He's an auto worker, and he is a member of the Auto Workers Union. Here's some fun news. We don't often get this from the opposition. The opposition never gets this. It's the worst person. You know, it's the Cinnabon girl who is looking at some people from another country and going, N-word, N-word, N-word. That woman gets a GoFundMe that raises $200,000. Remember that lady? Because the most awful people in the fucking world. Maybe that's who I should appeal to. You know what? Maybe I should just completely go 180, show you what a fucking performer I am, and do nothing but outrageous pro-MAGA content. Maybe that would get an audience. God, that's a bad fucking look for the people of this country. Because I'm telling you, Tim Pool does his show. I don't know. He's in Brighton Park, so I could walk there from here. I could walk over to Tim Pool's. He's cashing $100,000 checks a week from fucking special interest groups to do that bullshit. I'm not getting any of that. So maybe I should. You want to see how fucking awful an American I can be? Let me do those. Yeah, there we go. It just happened again. The bullshit with the computer just decided to shit the bed and go, you know what? I don't think you're... Maybe this is all because of the political stuff I've been saying. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe the White House has infiltrated the Restream system. Maybe. Who knows? Wouldn't put it past them. Maddie, today's executive producer, says, ain't nobody pulling Melania's parents through a broken car door window on the streets. No, they're not. No, they're not. And you know the weirdest fucking thing about Melania's parents are? Have you ever seen Melania's dad? She's got fucking weird, fucked up daddy issues. She does. Melania's dad looks just like Trump. I think he's younger than Trump. But Melania's dad looks just like Trump. He looks like an Eastern European Trump, which is Trump. That's Trump. He's an Trump's not American. He's got fucking Eastern Europe in his heart. That's right, Maddie. It's not the computer. It is, in fact, Big Brother who is causing all these problems for this show. Hold on. I need to take a minute here and fix something. Give me a second. I'm sorry. I know this whole show has been like... My mom said to me yesterday, you're doing long shows. I'm like, yeah, I know. I got nothing else going on in my life. Well, I need to have other things going on in my life. I am waiting for something else to happen in my life that is supposed to happen in my life, and it hasn't happened yet, but it is coming. So I'll tell you all about that in a minute. There was a piece of audio that I was looking for here that I think might be appropriate. Hold on. No. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. I know this is awful. But I'm looking for something on another page. Huh. All right. Anyway, I can't find what I'm looking for. That's not good. Yeah. All right. So anyway, let's get back to our hero, the guy who yelled pedophile protector, former MAGA voter. I hope he's representative of a lot of other MAGA voters, certainly probably in the industrial, Northeast. You remember that? Remember Trump had to win like Wisconsin and Michigan and all that. Well, this is Michigan for you. TJ Sabula, he's the auto worker. He is a fundraiser has been started. That's what I was talking about. We were talking about the lady at the Krispy Kreme or Cinnabon or whatever who's like, I don't like N-word, N-word, N-word. You're an N-word. That lady, she got like $200,000 in a GoFundMe. So you got to figure maybe that had happened for TJ Sabula, right? Yeah, fuck that. No, probably not. Probably not because he's anti-American. Nope. He has raised $350,000 in just a few hours. They started a GoFundMe for TJ Sabula, who has been laid off by Ford. That's right. Buying a car today? Don't fucking go near a Ford dealership. Don't go near a Ford dealership because an employee who dared to speak the truth to the president of the United States was sidelined and suspended by Ford. Don't ever buy a fucking Ford again. They are complicit. This action makes them complicit. Ford Motor Company. Bye-bye. You're a company that was founded by a fucking Nazi monster. Henry Ford, complicated people are complicated. Really good at the whole industrialization of the Western world. Good on you, Henry Ford. In every other aspect, a monumental piece of shit. So do not ever buy a Ford again. They suspended this guy for daring to utilize his First Amendment right and speak truth to power. Truth, that is, let's underline it, truth. Pedophile protector. That is truth. You spoke the truth. You're suspended. Well, that's okay because a fundraiser was started for him. $250,000 was the limit. They reached that in the first hour. They have raised the limit now. Currently, the fundraiser online, where is this? Let's make sure we know I don't know. Hold on. Did I not save what it is? I don't know. It's like GoFundMe or something. A fundraiser for a man who was suspended for calling President Trump a pedophile protector has now raised more than $350,000 in a few hours. Ford factory worker TJ Sabula was recorded getting into a confrontation with Trump during the president's tour of one of the automaker's plants in Michigan. Video of the incident shows Trump, who has faced widespread condemnation over his handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files, appearing to mouth, "fuck you," and flip the auto worker the bird after Sabula is heard calling him a pedophile protector. The worker said he was suspended over the incident, but told the Washington Post that he has no regrets whatsoever. TJ was suspended from his job at the Ford Motor Company for correctly calling President Donald J. Trump a pedophile protector. Let's rally and support TJ and help him pay some bills and force Donald J. Trump to release the Trump Epstein files. Sean Williams, who created the fundraiser, wrote in its description. Sabula, he is a United Auto Worker, Local 600, a three-time Trump voter, said he made sure Trump could hear him very, very, very clearly when he accused the president of being a pedophile protector. Sabula confirmed his heckling was limited to Trump backtrack. Sabula confirmed his heckling was limited to Trump backtracking on demands to release the files. It's not a demand. It is not a demand. It's a law. They passed a law. It was a demand, and then they refused to adhere to the demand. So then we made a law, and now it's a law. And still nothing. He's 37 convictions and he's president. What do you think? Laws matter? Laws matter? Everything cannot be a fucking liberal conspiracy, you fucking idiots. Everything cannot be. The liberals are not that fucking powerful. Just take a look at the landscape. They don't control anything. They don't control the judiciary. They don't control either the upper or the lower house, and they don't control the executive. What the fuck are you people talking about? But no, you want to believe that because you want to believe in monsters. You want to believe that there's a monster out there, and you refuse to admit that your own fucking daddy is a goddamn serial killer. You're locking the doors at night and you're going to sleep in a house where your father is a serial killer. That's who you are, MAGA. That's who you are right now. Fucking wisen up. Let's get him more money. But no, send the money to me. I'll make sure he gets it. Feds kicked in the door of a Washington Post reporter today. Washington Post reporter who's doing this big expose. She's been working on apparently this story about the Trump White House for a couple of months now. She's doing a lot of interviews. She's very well known as somebody who gets people to talk. And this morning she woke up to the FBI kicking in her door and stealing her computer. America for spacious skies. Didn't like what she was going to write. So. Yeah. All right. So here's that story. FBI searches a Washington Post reporter's home as part of a classified documents investigation. Ooh, that's the thing, because they got Trump on it. Trump's focused on that. Anybody else, they got to have classified documents too, because I had a whole bunch of them, and that's a bad thing. Although nothing happened to me about it. It was totally fine. But if they've got classified, let's get them. Let's get them. Not me. I mean, I had them. I had a whole bunch of them, but, I became president. So, and we have kings in this country. We have emperors who make their own rules. So that's, reporter's home was searched as a part of a classified documents investigation. An FBI agent searched a Washington Post reporter's home on Wednesday as part of a leak investigation into a Pentagon contractor who was accused of taking home classified information. Hannah Natanson, who has been covering President Donald Trump's transformation of the federal government, had a phone and 2 laptops and a German watch seized. While classified documents investigations aren't unusual, the search of a reporter's home marks an escalation in the government's efforts to crack down on leaks. Why are we cracking down on leaks? See, this is another thing that has been normalized in our mind. You people think that leaks that come out about corruption in our government are a bad thing that need to be stopped. When did this happen? When did that become normalized? Well, right around the same time it became normalized for the President of the United States to have a whole bunch of running buddies who fuck kids. All these things are now normalized. You don't fucking kick in reporters' doors. You don't do it. I'm sorry. We're not Central America, all right? We're not El Salvador. We're not. This isn't like, Anyway, all right, now let's move to Denmark because they're all talking in Denmark. They're all like upset. They're like, oh, Trump wants to take Greenland. And Denmark's like, do we own Greenland? And Denmark's like, yeah, apparently we do. And they're like, wow, but Trump wants it. And they're like, why? Why does he want it? And Trump's like, I'm taking Greenland. And so now Denmark's like, fuck, we got to defend Greenland. So now Denmark, they're sending warships to Greenland to patrol the coast. Like, I mean, come on. I know what we got. We're the United States of America. We're the big dumb bully. That's who we are. We're the big, poorly educated, diabetic bully who's, rich and his daddy controls the town. That's who we are. So please, Daneland or whatever. It's been a long time since y'all were Vikings, okay? This is a whole different kind of thing. It's cute, but stop it. So anyway, the foreign minister of Daneland, that's what I'm going to call it, Daneland, because I like Viking stuff. So the whoever, not the boss man, but whoever, the foreign minister, I think they call him, came over to the White House, met with Rubio and JD Vance. It wasn't filmed, so I'm sure it was very cordial and normal. I'm sure it was like a normal meeting between Vance and Rubio because I don't think there were cameras in there. Yeah, I could be wrong. There might be cameras of JD Vance going, you're gay. Yeah, who knows? Because if there are cameras there, that's what these guys, why? Because that's the shit that appeals to you, the stupid. So that's why they do it. Because it appeals to you, the stupid. Stop being stupid. Or better yet, stupid people, go over there. All the non-stupid people. Let's just start calling them stupid to their face. Like when they say something, instead of rolling your eyes and going, oh God, just look at them and go, you're a fucking moron, and walk away. We need to make these people know that they are outside what is acceptable. Fucking idiots. Anyway, Denmark, they're like, please, we'll fight you for it. And they don't want that. Greenland and Denmark's foreign ministers are set to hold talks with U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio on Wednesday. They already did that. This is ahead of a high-stakes meeting. President Donald Trump said that anything less than the U.S. total control of Greenland would be unacceptable. The prime minister, whoever the guy is that met with Rubio and J.D. Vance, he said, this is also unnecessary. He's right. This is also unnecessary. What? Easy pickings, too. I mean, what are you doing? Trump wants to seem tough, so he's picking on Canada and Greenland. Oh, you're real tough. Meanwhile, he's bending over, lubing up his asshole and spreading them cheeks for Putin and the Chinese people every chance he gets. Why? Because Trump's a coward. Because he's actually afraid of people who need to be stood up to. And instead, he's fucking with Greenland. He's saber-rattling at Denmark, for fuck's sake. It's embarrassing. All right, you know what else is embarrassing? Situation that occurred with Kiefer Sutherland. There you go. Let's get into Kiefer Sutherland. Old Jack Bauer went all 24 on an Uber driver. I don't know, maybe it's a Lyft driver. I didn't really read the story. I just saw the headline and went, oh, let's do that. I don't know what he did. He got into something with an Uber driver. Kiefer Sutherland has been arrested and accused of assaulting a rideshare driver in L.A., according to police. Kiefer, who is 59 years old, was arrested early Monday in Hollywood, booked into jail, and released that morning, according to jail records. Actor Kiefer Sutherland, a film and television star since the 1980s, was arrested Monday after he was alleged to have physically assaulted and threatened a rideshare driver. He was arrested at Sunset Boulevard and Fairfax Avenue in Hollywood. Man, that's a Hollywood address. That is right where all the cool stuff is, right there, the Hollywood Hills. Oh my God. Let's see. He was arrested at Sunset and Fairfax. I mean, that is the heart of Hollywood. He was arrested at Sunset and Fairfax in Hollywood after officers responded to a report of an assault around 12:15. The investigation had determined that the suspect, later identified as Kiefer Sutherland, entered a rideshare vehicle, physically assaulted the driver, and made criminal threats towards the victim. Sutherland's representatives did not immediately respond to requests for comments Tuesday night. Terses, who's Terses? Is the spokesperson for the police? I don't know. Yes, it is. Police officer Kevin Terses. Terses said the victim did not sustain any injuries that required medical treatment at the scene and added that an investigation was ongoing. Sutherland was booked into jail a little after 4 a.m. 4 a.m. he was drunk. He's a drinker, right? Isn't he a drinker who then, decided, hey, let's pretend that I don't drink anymore and I'll write a book about being sober and we'll go on Oprah and stuff and it'll be like a really great story. I mean, I'll still be drinking the whole time. It's Hollywood. I mean, I'll still be a fucking addict and a drunk, but isn't he supposed to be clean and sober? 4 a.m. fighting a Lyft driver? I'm just, again, what do I know? I'm just connecting the pieces. First of all, he's 59 years old. What's he doing out at 4 in the morning? I don't ever want to be out at 4 in the morning again. I'm not even 59. I don't want to be out if I'm out at 4 in the morning, somebody's been arrested and I'm trying to raise bail money. That's why I'm out at 4 in the morning. Somebody got a DUI. I got to go pick them up at the police station. That's why I'm out at 4 in the morning. Kiefer's out there doing ride shares in the heart of Hollywood at 4 in the morning. I think he's still partying. I think he is. I got no hate for Kiefer Sutherland, though. He seems like a good guy. I told you I had a personal run-in with Kiefer Sutherland back in the day. Oh, this was so exciting. I'm at Columbia. Hold on, Maddie. We got to get rid of your thing. It's been up there this whole time. No. So when I was in college at Columbia here in Chicago, I was in the theater department. Fancy that. I mean, it was my minor I wanted to take. Look, here's the problem with Columbia and Chicago. The only attractive girls in that entire college were in the theater department. So if you weren't, I was in radio. Do you know the kind of girl that decides in 1990 that they want to do radio? Not hot ones, because the hot ones that wanted to go into broadcasting, they were all over on the TV side. I was on the radio side with a bunch of fucking Shreks. So I took some drama classes and all that stuff. And I ended up, over in the theater department taking a bunch, because it was where they look, they're a whole different theater chicks. This is why, I hate actresses. Theater chicks are a whole different kind of hot chick. Yeah, they're hot, but oh my God, they're the most difficult. Highest degree of difficulty is a hot theater chick. Seriously. Though people will be like, Pugs, hot stripper. No, hot strippers are easy. You can figure out what a hot stripper is going to bring to you. An actress chick, you never know what the problem's going to be. The stripper's mad because she can't get a Coke at 4 o'clock in the morning. You can pretty much see that. The actress chick, I told you about the actress chick that I was dating back. This was just after college, but she was still in college. We were looking for a parking spot. We're going to see somebody play at Buddy Guy's Legends in Chicago, and we're looking for a parking spot. And I was getting a little upset. I'm like, we're never gonna make it because we're meeting people, and I'm like, I don't want to park this far. So I'm getting a little frustrated. I look peripherally out of the corner of my eye. She's sitting there. She looked great too. Danny was her name. She was really cute. She looked great, but she's crying. She's crying. And I turned to her and I go, what the fuck? I go, what are you crying for? And she goes, we're going to be late. And she started to cry legitimately. And that's an actress for you. They're always looking for a way to emote. They're always looking for a way to over dramatize the situation. And I think hot chicks in general, they always over dramatize shit. Imagine if they're trained to do so. Anyway, so I'm in the theater department over there at Columbia, hating on actress chicks. And Flatliners, remember that Joel Schumacher film, Flatliners? Flatliners was filmed there, and they used all of us from the drama department as extras for scenes. And if you remember Flatliners, there's a lot of scenes where people are like partying and, it's weird. Anyway, Flatliners is a good movie. So Kiefer Sutherland came and spoke to my little theater class. It wasn't Kiefer Sutherland, it was Joel Schumacher. Joel Schumacher, the director, came to talk to the class. And it was only a class of like 15 of us. So it was really intimate and really cool. And Joel Schumacher brought 2 of his actors from this movie that he was filming. Kiefer Sutherland, who at this point, I think we knew But he wasn't like a big star, but he was a star. He was like, oh, cool, that guy's famous. And we knew that he was Donald Sutherland's son, so that was kind of cool. But he also brought his girlfriend. He brought his girlfriend, who he was dating at the time during the filming of Flatliners, and that was somebody nobody ever heard of. But she was cute. Her name was Julia Roberts. I think that was the name of the girl that was there. And anyway, we were all focused on Joel Schumacher because he was the director and Kiefer Sutherland was kind of a B-lister at the time. And Julia Roberts, who the fuck knows who that is? So anyway, my run-in with Kiefer Sutherland is after this whole thing was over, Kiefer Sutherland stepped out into the hallway and started to smoke a cigarette, like right there in the hallway. And I was going to the bathroom with this other person who was in my class, and I don't even remember their name. Otherwise, I'd lie about it, but I don't remember their name. We were walking out and this person goes, you can't smoke in the hallway, like that, to Kiefer Sutherland. And I just remember Kiefer Sutherland looking at her, rolling his eyes and going, ugh. So that's my Kiefer Sutherland story. I always thought that was cool. I always thought that was a good response because it wasn't like, okay, let me put my cigarette out right away. It was, holy fuck, you're one of these people, which is interesting coming from a Hollywood guy. But Kiefer Sutherland, apparently, I think he's drinking again. Otherwise, why is he fighting Lyft drivers at 4 a.m. in the center of Hollywood? I don't know. Maddie says, what happened? Did the Uber driver refuse to become a lost boy? I like it. There you go. I love it. I am fucking, there are no bad jokes. There are no bad jokes. Okay. Do I want to do this? Why not? Scott Adams died yesterday. He created Dilbert. Once again, Dilbert, something for dorks and fat ladies. I don't get, it was a big thing. I got my new Dilbert calendar. Okay. Okay, Dilbert. Dilbert? I don't know, whatever. Yeah. I love Garfield and I love Dilbert. You're fucking weird. And I'm going to marry a woman who's obsessed with Disney. You fucking people are going to be the worst people in the cul-de-sac. You are going to be the weird ones. So anyway, Scott Adams, he could have just been anonymous. He could have just been the fucking talentless hack who created one of the most bland and uninteresting comics in history. But no, he ran his mouth and revealed himself to be an absolute piece of shit. Scott Adams died of prostate cancer 2 days ago. Bye-bye, Scott. That's all I got to say. Bye-bye, Scott. I probably got 5 different kinds of cancer running through my body right now. You think I give a fuck? We all die. Just because you die doesn't mean all of a sudden you're a good person and you're somebody that when they were here, they left a positive impression. But Dilbert, fuck Dilbert. What did Dilbert ever do? Dilbert didn't change the world. Dilbert was nonsense. So Scott Adams is a racist piece of shit. In the last couple of years of his life, he had no problem being a racist piece of shit. But he died the other day. So everyone from J.D. Vance to Elon Musk to Donald Trump took a moment out of their day to write about the wonderful man that Scott Adams was. Why? Because Scott Adams was pro-MAGA. Well, of course he was. He's a racist piece of shit. I'm not saying that all MAGA is racist pieces of shit. I'm saying that if you happen to be a racist piece of shit, you're definitely MAGA. That's what I'm saying. So burning in hell right now, and I asked AI yesterday. I asked Grok on AI. Somebody posted something about what a piece of shit Scott Adams was. And I responded by saying, hey, Grok, can you show me a picture of Charlie Kirk welcoming Scott Adams to hell? And you know what Grok returned with? Well, you got to be a blue check for that. You got to pay Elon $10 a month or whatever if you want that kind of fun. So my guy Ed did it for me. My guy Ed, who's always there to help out. So here you go. I'll share this with you. This is yeah. Here you go. This would be Charlie Kirk welcoming Scott. There you go. Charlie Kirk welcoming Scott Adams to hell. Very nice, Ed. Thank you. I probably could have shared that better. Yeah, because they're both in hell. They're both in hell. By any decent Christian standards, both Charlie Kirk and Scott Adams are in fucking hell. So let's see why I believe this about Scott Adams. Let's watch a little piece of fucking video. There's a whole bunch of this stuff out there and it's all going around, but I think this one is really probably the conversational way, the confident way in which he is, anchored to this way of looking at the world is who Scott Adams is. Let's watch this. Hold on. All right.
And I would say, based on
this, here we go. J.D. Vance, Vice President of the United States. Scott Adams was a true American original and a great ally to the President of the United States and the entire administration. My prayers go to Scott and all of you who loved him. We lost one of the good ones, but we'll never forget him. Lost one of the good ones. J.D. Vance, Vice President of the United States. Scott Adams, we lost one of the good ones. And we're going to miss him. Here's the president. He said, sadly, the great influencer Scott Adams has passed away. He was a fantastic guy, says the president of the United States, who liked and respected me when it wasn't fashionable. This is your guy. This is your transactional fucking orange pumpkin. He's a fantastic guy who liked me. That's why he's fantastic, because he This is like a fucking mental illness, the level of narcissism. I mean, we know there's all kinds of mental illnesses that Trump is dealing with, but the narcissistic fucking tendencies is the one that comes front and center. He was a fantastic guy who liked and respected me when it wasn't fashionable to do so. He bravely fought a long battle against a terrible disease. My condolences. I'm glad that that's how Scott Adams went. I'm glad that it was a long and time-consuming battle. Because a lot of us are going to have to go through some form of a battle like that. That's right. Cancer doesn't give a fuck how you voted. Cancer just comes for us. Like I said, I probably got 5 different kinds of cancer just gestating in our bodies right now. Want to hear a fun fact about cancer? If the human body lives to be 200 years old, let's say we get to a place where you can survive to 200 years old, you won't, because it is a thing about the human cell. The human cell will eventually at some point develop cancer. Nobody is immune to it. So it's just that some of us die from other things before it turns into cancer. But we are all petri dishes for cancer. So please, Scott Adams, he had cancer. But so did a whole bunch of really wonderful people who never made videos like this one. Are you ready? Here's the guy, the President of the United States, and
the current way things are going.
Is calling a good guy. This man is dead and he's in heaven and he's in hell right now.
And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. Just get the fuck away. Wherever you have to go, just get away. Because there's no fixing this. This can't be fixed. All right, this can't be fixed. You just have to escape. So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where, I have a very low black population, because unfortunately, there's a high correlation between the density. And this is according to Don Lemon, by the way. So here I'm just quoting Don Lemon when he notes that when he lived in a mostly black neighborhood, there were a bunch of problems that he didn't see in white neighborhoods. So even Don Lemon sees a big difference in your own quality of living based on where you live and who's there. So I think it makes no sense whatsoever as a white citizen of America to try to help black citizens anymore. It doesn't make sense. It's no longer a rational impulse. And so I'm gonna back off from being helpful to black America, because it doesn't seem like it pays off. Like I've been doing it all my life, and the only outcome is I get called a racist. That's the only outcome.
Anybody else think this fucking guy has been helpful to black people his whole life? After what you just heard from him, does anybody believe that bullshit for a minute? This motherfucker is just straight up a white supremacist. That's what he is. And if you agree with him, then you're a white supremacist, and you are somebody who judges your fellow man based on the amount of melatonin in their skin, which makes you a fucking idiot.
It makes no sense to help black Americans if you're white. It's over. Don't even think it's worth trying.
All right, one more time. Vice President of the United States, Scott Adams was a true American original and a great ally to the President of the United States and the entire administration. My prayers go to Scott and all who loved him. That selfish son of a bitch, cancer-ridden sack of fucking white supremacy is right now boiling over in that bag of garbage he called a body in hell. So don't fucking come to me with Charlie Kirk bullshit and Scott Adams bullshit. Your heroes are all assholes. There you go. If your heroes are assholes, guess what that probably makes you? All right, there we go. Let's get out of that. And it just normalized. The president and the vice president and Elon Musk, the wealthiest man in the world, are all putting that guy on a pedestal. Just, I mean, my God, the comfort. Here's the other most disturbing part of that whole thing. And this is, I think, how the modern white supremacist and racist has gotten over. Charlie Kirk, it certainly speaks to his popularity. We were all conditioned to expect the fucking racist to be like the people we saw on Geraldo and Springer back in the 90s. Those people were cast to represent white supremacy because they were so easily mockable. Because they were like, I'm the Daytona chapter president of the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, and those were the people. That's who we think of. No, these new fucking racists, they're articulate. They wear suits. And they speak very calmly, and they say things the way Scott Adams just said. He wasn't like me. He wasn't ranting and raving performatively. He was just saying, I just think that now black people don't deserve white man's help anymore. And look, I don't even know what that's about. I don't helping black people? What the fuck are you even talking about? I can tell you that I don't think that I've ever in my life made it a point to help black people. I'm sure that I have helped people through the course of my life, and some of those people may have turned out to be black people. Hell, I've probably helped a few Chinamen too. I don't know. I like to be helpful, but this motherfucker is keeping score. This guy is like, there's a black guy I was nice to. Not gonna do that again. That tells me he's been a racist his whole fucking life, and it was just that we lived in a better time. A time that assholes didn't like, and they complained about it a lot. Political correctness. At least we didn't fucking deal with these monsters being so fucking comfortable to say the quiet parts out loud. They are now. Why? Because of the fucking president of the United States. That's why. We need to shut these motherfuckers up again. We need them to understand that they should be humiliated should anyone hear the kind of shit they're saying. Racists in the 90s knew to stay under their fucking rocks. They only came out for Geraldo. Now they're all over the place because Charlie Kirk was a handsome young man who wore a suit and sounded like he knew what he was talking about. Because the guy who made Dilbert, the guy who made Dilbert says it's okay for me to fucking hate black people. The fuck is wrong with this world, man? Just fucking be cool to people. Just ignore people. You don't want to live in a fucking ghetto? Then don't live in a ghetto. But I'll tell you, there's more than just this idea of urbanized city ghettos. Have you ever been to Appalachia? Have you ever been to Bridgeport? Sorry, my friends. My friends here in Chicago. Bridgeport is where the show Shameless was filmed. I don't know if you've ever been there, but that's fucking a ghetto. They are trash. And guess what? Their skin tone is all this color. Fucking ghettos all over. This guy, I don't want to live among them. No, you don't want to live among poor people, which is another kind of issue. But what you're doing is you're being so overly simplistic that you are aligning poor people with black people. Well, if they're black, they must be poor, so all black people are poor people. I'll tell you, there's a suburb here in Chicago called Olympia Fields. It's really nice. It's all black. It is an all black suburb, Olympia Fields, Illinois. It is home to any number of Chicago White Sox players and Chicago Bulls players. And Scottie Pippen used to live there, for crying out loud. So did Craig Hodges. Craig Hodges defaulted on his house. He's got this big, beautiful house across from the high school, and it's been abandoned for like 15 years. But anyway, I'll live among them. I will absolutely go live in Olympia Fields. That fucking place is like South Lake, except for like, you know, pro athletes and guys who run Fortune 500 companies who happen to be black. So fuck you, Scott Adams, and your whole, I don't want to live among them. You're a racist piece of shit and you're burning in fucking hell. Yeah, that is it. There you go. Good for you, Maddie. Thank you, Maddie. Hey, good news, Scott. You don't have to live among people like that anymore. You're comfortable. You're down there in hell burning with Charlie Kirk and all the other fucking monsters. Monsters that have lowered the bar of what is acceptable behavior from Americans. That's what we're talking about. People who incrementally since 2016 have lowered the bar of what is an acceptable standard of behavior. You guys did it. You guys, not them, the 1%, the billionaires. All they did was went, I bet we could dupe a bunch of stupid people into giving us all the power. And you people were the dupes. And now we got this. Meanwhile, at Mar-a-Lago, let's look at this fucking shit. Yeah, I can't stop with these videos coming out of Mar-a-Lago, how these goddamn Palace of Versailles, let them eat cake, motherfuckers are behaving while people are getting shot in the face and dudes are getting suspended from their auto worker job for calling the president a pedophile. So let's check in on the fucking weird ass eyes wide shut parties that they're doing there. Check this out. This is at Mar-a-Lago over the weekend. This is what these people are doing. Are you like them? Are you like that? Yeah, you are. These people have built fucking walls. And the way you look. All right, this is apparently some fucking weird rich people party where everybody's wearing dog masks. I don't know what the fuck happens when you stop videotaping and turn the lights down, but I imagine, again, it's right out of Eyes Wide Shut. Look at these dresses. What is going on here? They are literally, wait, those were like, those were, I said Palace of Versailles. Those people are dressed in like French. Let them eat cake. The fuck is going on at Mar-a-Lago? This is the bullshit that you people are fucking supporting. What is going on with these people? Yeah, these are Byron and Barney's kinds of people. Yeah. Look at this shit. Oh my God, look, I know it's Florida. It's Florida, so I know they don't have any regulations. I mean, just remember the condo a couple of years ago that, you know, people were like sleeping in the middle of the night and their entire fucking condo collapsed because you don't need regulations. Hell, not in Florida. You don't need to regulate nothing. Hell, we'll just build it, and if it falls down, fuck the people who get killed. Not our problem. They ain't got no regulations. Fucking gas leak. A Mar-a-Lago gas leak. I mean, it's not out of the question. You know, I'm not saying I'm planning it or have the ability to actually perpetrate it. I'm just saying shit like that happens a lot. How beautiful would a gas leak right now at fucking Mar-a-Lago be? Look at these people. Look at what they're wearing. Look at how they're dressed. These are your people? What the fuck? You guys, I don't know what to do with this. I know that these are Frank Smith's people. Frankie Smith loves these people. These are your people. I just can't. You've empowered these people. Not me. Certainly not the fucking far left libtards. I know they're a problem of their own, but they ain't responsible at all for this shit. If they were in charge, there'd probably be other weird shit going on too. I don't know. We'll get into that. But we're not talking about them right now. We are talking about the people who voted these people into power. And now they're doing fucking dog Victorian ballroom. Oh, God. Oh, God. And you know what also about this Jerome Powell thing? Since we're talking about Jerome Powell, we weren't, but... So this whole thing is about some construction project? President of the United States is the king of projection. If he's going after Jerome Powell because he believes that Jerome Powell has somehow stolen money out of some project, it's because that's exactly what Trump is doing with this White House ballroom project. Trump is fucking skimming, siphoning, whatever. Maybe not him personally, but certainly the Trump people. They're making fucking money hand over fist, building this ridiculous monstrosity so that what? They can throw these kinds of fucking parties in D.C.? But we don't have balls. We don't have these big 1%er cotillion balls at the motherfucking White House. It's the people's house. But no, we have now decided, yes, let's use taxpayer dollars and throw these fuck parties with people wearing dog heads and dresses from the 1830s. Wow. Come on, man. All right, there we go. I'm fucking spent. I am spent. Barney, let's see what Barney says. Barney, this makes me think Trump's life is like Landman with Melania throwing some crazy ass themed dinners every night. See, look at Barney. Barney, you're going nuts inside, and you are just so desperate to find something that you're trying to somehow come up with a scenario where Trump is the cool guy in all of this. Trump's the Billy Bob. He's not really about, well, fuck you, dude. Fuck you, Barney. This has fucking been Trump's entire life, these kinds of weird things. Melania grew up in Slovenia. Her dad was a car dealer. This is Trump. This is Trump and his people. But you just keep carrying water and trying to make Trump out to be the cool guy in this scenario, like Billy Bob from Landman with the crazy wife. Don't give me that bullshit, Barney. That really exposes you for like what you're. Yeah, Trump's the cool guy. Yeah. Trump doesn't like any of this stuff. You're nuts. You guys are nuts. And then we got Al. Al's like, oh, I totally agree. Trump's the fucking cool one here. Trump doesn't like this stuff. He's like Billy Bob, rolling his eyes at his crazy one. Stop it, you guys. Stop it. Fucking trying to pass it off on Melania. Jesus Christ. Maddie says, fucking Melania didn't throw this dumb party. She hates people. She would never. That's right. That is right. She would never decorate Mar-a-Lago like that. Didn't you see her Christmas decorations? Fucking dead twigs and shit. Her Christmas decorations are like a Tim Burton Christmas special. It is fucking freaky. She's a monster too. She's a monster Eastern European probable mail order prostitute. That's what she is. I'm sorry, but that is what she is. Let's check her fucking papers. Oh, we won't. We won't be doing that because she's first lady. Barney says, Trump's like, honey, I'm overthrowing Iran today, and Melania's all I don't give a shit why it's... Okay, Barney. Barney, you just won't let go. You think the pedophile in chief, the guy whose buddies are all fucking kids, and you can't let go. Barney, it doesn't define you. What will define you is if you stand up and go, all right, I admit it, that guy's a fucking criminal con. Just fucking, that will define you. That will make people go, oh, okay. You can still be conservative. You can still be right wing. You can still join me in rolling our eyes and being endlessly irritated by the left. You can do all these things and you can still be an honest fucking broker and say that this guy is fucking gotta go. Thank you. I'll tell you, I don't know if I have any real underlying stroke problems, but if I do, they'll rear their ugly head during this show, probably during a conversation between me and Adam or me and Byron or me and Barney or... But anyway, Maddie gets it. And I'm with you. I'm with you, Maddie. I reject that premise entirely. I'm not saying Trump has anything to do with it. Trump's not like, let's do a dog face party. That's not what he's doing. But when they come to him and he's like, hey, what, we got anything fun going on? And they're like, dog face party. He's like, cool. Like that's Trump. He's not involved in it. He's not involved in anything except for fucking struggling to have a solid bowel movement while tweeting endlessly on truth. Or I guess he's truthing. I don't know what that means. Fuck. Don't let this shit define you. Your children, your grandchildren are gonna be like, yeah, grandpa was fucking nuts. Talk to some people in Germany who got grandparents who were fucking Nazis. They ain't all that happy with the way shit turned out. Yeah, grandpa was a Nazi. I mean, we love him because he was grandpa, but he was a Nazi. He ran the camps but we love grandpa, but he was a Nazi. Don't fucking do that. I told my kid years ago, around 20, I don't know, but there was all kinds of things. And, my kid hangs around with me and I watch TV and I yell at the news and I fucking have opinions and all that kind of stuff. And I've told my son from the very beginning, from the time that he was probably 6, 7, 8 years old, I said, look, you are too young. You are way too young to understand any of the complicated things that we're angry about, whether it's, your grandma or your mom, me, your stepdad, whatever it is, whatever you are hearing right now, kiddo, you are too young to really understand the nuance of what we are talking about. However, and this is what I've told my son his entire life, however, you will remember who stood where. When you are 40 years old and you are looking back at this era as somebody who grew up in this era, you will remember what person said what, who in your life stood where. That's all I've ever said to my son about politics. I don't push politics on him. I just want him to be open-minded. He's an empath, so he is naturally caring for other people. He naturally has concerns about shit that non-empaths don't. So, whatever he ends up being, he's going to end up being a good person, right, left, center, whatever. He is an empath. He does care. But yeah, it was very important to me to drill into my kid's head from a very early age that you don't understand all of this, but one day you may, and one day you will remember who stood where. You'll remember who supported this, who didn't support it. You're going to remember that stuff. And I'm pretty confident that I'm going to come out looking good. I'm pretty confident that history is going to be like, Dad fucking called it from the beginning. I don't know what my Uncle George was thinking. My Uncle George with his crazy red MAGA hats and all that. You'll see. That's all we can do. That's all we can cross our fingers and hope that we still exist then. Mikey D says, thank you and interesting. We found out that I had cancer when I had a stroke and was in the emergency room. Oh, Mikey D, it's out there for all of us, man. It's out there for all of us. And not just cancer, anything. This is why I always tell you guys, this is why it is so important a message for me to get through here. If there's nothing else about this show, I hope that the underlying value is just be fucking cool to each other. That's it. Just fucking go through life being cool with one another. Every interaction you have with somebody. Another thing about me and my kid, we keep a running tally. If we have to go into like 7-Elevens or deal with people at gas stations or whatever, we take a smile count. How much you make the person smile? I bet you. We'll walk into a store. I've been doing this since he was little. We'll start walking into like the convenience store and I'll say, I bet you can't make the person behind the counter smile. And he'll fucking do something to try and make him smile. These are building habits in him that I believe will turn him into an optimistic, happy person and a positive influence on the world around him. He doesn't got to be president of the United States to be that. None of us do. All we got to do is just be nice to everybody that we run into. And when somebody's a dick to us, what we need to do? We need to be like, oh, okay. And just not engage. Just move on. Now, why do I say this is so important? Why is this like the most important thing? A lot of people will tell you, don't live in the moment. Plan for the future. I say, live in the moment. You could be dead tomorrow. We're talking about Mikey D and his health problems. We're talking about me having like probably 5 different kinds of cancer. Our next breath is not guaranteed, folks. We could die of a brain aneurysm that explodes. Come on. So what are you going to leave behind? I'm going to hold a grudge on that guy forever, and I'm going to be a dick to those people forever. Be fucking cool. That's all. And I'm not all that cool because I do have one very solid rule about cool. Nobody who is cool would ever say they are cool, which is borne out by the fact that yesterday I declared myself cool. I must obviously not be cool. However, you can be cool towards people. I mean, I'm not cool. I've got anxiety and, depression and all of this kind of stuff. I am not cool, but I am cool to people. And that's all. That's all we need to be. And we have empowered people who do not believe that way of life at all. All right. Mikey, we wish you the best, pal. We really do. Kevin's like, wait, did you just tell us that you have cancer? No, I did not just tell you that, Kevin. No, it's not something you joke about. What I mean to say is that, because the human cell naturally creates cancer. If a human cell was allowed to just be alive for 150 years, it wouldn't. At some point, the cancer would develop and you would die. It's just that most of us die of other things before the cancer has time to develop. But it's a natural occurring thing within the human biostructure. Cancer develops out of cells. So no, I'm just saying I probably have 5 different kinds of cancer that just haven't popped up yet. We all do. This is how we all walk around, which is why, again, it's important, I think, to just be nice to people. Just be nice, man. We're not here very long. Just be nice. Isn't it better? Isn't nice? Don't we agree with this? Isn't this how we were raised? Isn't nice better than mean? I don't know. I don't know. I just don't think people adapt to that idea. I don't think that's something that, but we can try. All right. So, what else do I got? Hold on. I don't know if I want to do this story just yet. Is there anything else? Went through that stuff. I had a video that I wanted to show, but I can't find it. Remember, I was looking for it earlier in the show. It has nothing to do with this, but all right. Anyway, whatever. All right. I guess we're done. Well, I suppose we're not done. Yes, Al, cancer does suck. My buddy Rob with breaking news from the chat room. He says, not sure why you are not getting the link. Check out the pedo guy's GoFundMe. It's over 400,000 now for him. Yeah, good for him, man. TJ Sapula. He is the auto worker in Michigan who dared to say to the president, why are you protecting pedophiles? I mean, he didn't say it in a full sentence like that. He said it more like, pedophile protector, right? And he was suspended by, remember this, Ford Motor Company. They suspended him. He's not allowed to say something like that to the president of the United States, so they suspended him. So remember that the next time you're thinking good thoughts about the Ford Motor Company, a company that was founded by Henry Ford. Henry Ford, a guy who was totally down with the Nazis, fucking hated Jews, wanted the Jews wiped from the face of the earth, wrote a book. Henry Ford. We don't talk about this. When we aggrandize Henry Ford, the Charlie Kirk of his era, Scott Adams of his era. Now, look, Henry Ford did some really important things. People are complicated. You can do really important things that pushes the world forward, which Henry Ford absolutely did, while also being a fucking monster, a devil. And that's what Henry Ford was. He wrote a book about how much he hates Jews. Like back in like 1910 or something. This is an entire book. I'm Henry Ford. Why I fucking think we should kill all the Jews. So that's what the Ford Motor Company is. Now, I have a very long-standing friendship with Kevin Barber, so I won't go into Walt Disney, but Henry Ford, Mikey D, we're asking, Al wants to know, because now I want to know, so that's why I hit it. Al wants to know, are you cancer-free now, Mikey D? And what does Mikey D say? Mikey D says, Thank you. 2 surgeries have been clear since then. Fuck yeah, Mikey D. Yeah. All right, very good. But you went through it, man. I mean, you went through it. You had to go through something that God love you. All right. You know, I'm going to take another pee. I'm going to take another pee real quick. And when I come back, we'll do some football. So go ahead, everybody get the hell out of here. You know, this is just going to be me. It'll be me and Rob and maybe a couple other people who are fans of the same team as me, but we're going to talk a little bit about football. I'm going to give you some, we're going to watch some video. Wait, you're going to indulge me. We're going to watch video that's so funny. I don't know if you think it's funny. I think it's funny. So we're going to do all that and then we'll wrap it up. And Rob, you're in the chat room. Rob, I'll be getting with you in a minute. Just don't worry. I won't. Right after the show, we'll go right into what Rob and I are doing. The other day we had a problem because right after the show, I was like, Rob, can I take a half hour and eat something? And I took a lunch break and then he went on lunch break and then it was 5:00 and I'm like, I gotta go. I had to pick up prescriptions. It was just a mess. So I'm like, I gotta go. So Rob, don't worry. No lunch break today, but we are going to come back with, we'll clean up. We'll do we'll finish the show up. Back after this. I gotta pee. God, you know, I just had a really dark thought as I come back from the bathroom. Thank you. Hit the vape. I hit the vape because I'm like, all right, I think I'm running out of steam. Let's see if we can get anything going. So I hit the vape. Which is against the rules for me. I never hit the vape when the sun is out. I got a rule. That's the rule. Don't hit the vape when the sun is out. No getting high when the sun is out. Unless you're, what is the rule? My son made the rule. I know that's weird. Your son made the rule? Yeah, well, Unless you're on a boat. I think that's what it was. No getting high when the sun is out unless you're on a boat. If you're on a boat, you're obviously on vacation. Enjoy yourself. If it's okay to have a beer, the rule applies for beers and shit like that too. I don't drink alcohol when the sun is out. It's not unless you know I'm on a boat. If I'm on a boat, I'll have a beer at 11 o'clock in the morning. All right. Here's something that I wanted to talk about here. I thought this was kind of fun. It is football related, but it's not. You don't really have to indulge me because it concerns a celebrity, and that's kind of fun. You know, we're all football crazy. Well, I don't know if we're all football crazy. We're all football crazy here in the great state of Illinois. By the way, today's executive producer is the incredible Maddie. She helps out so much. I mean, I wouldn't know what I would do. I don't want to name any names, but there's a handful of you people who, I mean, look, some people tip the show. Some people do both. Some people tip the show, but some people also contribute in other ways. And I just wanted to say how grateful I am to have reconnected with my old friend Maddie, who has really taken an interest, and she is a competent and very professional woman. So thank you to Maddie for being today's executive producer. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't forget my Jens. I don't forget my Mikey D's. I don't forget all the people who support in other ways. Byron, how about April? Are you kidding me? April is still the house mother here. So April is still the chat room house mother. I think, Jesus Christ, could you imagine if I got funded and we could actually pay like people to do shit for this show? That would be great. I would fucking pay Maddie and April in a minute. If I was still doing radio, like they are produced. I mean, they really know what they're doing as far as anticipating what's coming. Anyway, I love you both. I love you all. That was a rant that was entirely induced by the vape hit that I did just before. A little bit stoned kind of ranting there. All right, so we're football crazy here. We got I don't know what to tell you about my Chicago Bears. It's playoff season. I don't know what to tell you. Beginning of the year, I told you 8 and 9, whatever. Here's what we were going into the season. Here's what we were. It's the first year with our new head coach. We got a second year, supposed generational number 1 overall pick quarterback, right? Elite, all of that. So it's second year of him. His first year, he was with a complete fucking moron. He, had a defensive coach, and then he went through 3. I think they said it during the game. They said it during the game on Saturday. Caleb Williams, when he took his first snap of this season for Ben Johnson, when Caleb Williams took his first snap for Ben Johnson, he had only been in the league for 17 games. He'd only been in one season. So his first snap against Minnesota this year with Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams in 17 games had 4 head coaches and 5 offensive coordinators. Yeah. Welcome to the league, kid. You're supposed to be elite. You're supposed to be generational, but we're just going to cycle through a whole bunch of people to fucking get in your head and try and fix what is already a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. Thanks, Shane Waldron. Thanks, Thomas Brown. Thanks. There's a whole bunch of them. So anyway, this is just year 1 of our prized quarterback who we believed in, and this guy who's the head coach who's coming in to be the greatest head coach in the history of head coaches, and he's the head coach. Oh, he's so great and blah, blah, blah. By the way, it should be said that both Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams were the victims of out-of-town stupid prognosis. I remember we heard this a lot. Caleb's not going to go to Chicago. There is no way, if the Chicago Bears try to draft Caleb Williams, there is no way that he is going to go there. They're terrible. He is going to hold out for a team. There was that. Then there was the Chicago Bears think they're getting Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson played for Detroit. He knows exactly what kind of dysfunction the Chicago. There's no way well, we got them both. Both of them wanted to be here. Hell, Ben Johnson wanted to be here because Caleb was here. Remember that? That was the other one. Ben Johnson's not going to go to Chicago. He doesn't want to work with Caleb Williams. He's got Jared Goff. He's got Jared Goff. Jared Goff is obviously the kind of quarterback that Ben Johnson likes. Jared Goff was the quarterback that was assigned to Ben Johnson when he was an offensive coordinator. He had no fucking say in that deal, and he made Jared Goff into a fucking Pro Bowl quarterback. So don't give me this shit that all of a sudden only Jared Goff types is what Ben Johnson is able to work with. You gave Ben Johnson somebody 5 times more talented athletically than Jared Goff with a better arm and a way better resume than Jared Goff had. Where's Jared Goff? Cal? Anyway, point is this. It all worked out, and even the most diehard Chicago Bear fans in Chicago heading into this season was like, this is a wait-and-see season. We expect nothing. We're in the NFC North. Going into the season, the NFC North was widely considered the best division in football. That was before we saw what happened with Minnesota. Oh, boy. But yeah, so all we wanted to see was, could Caleb take a step under Ben Johnson? The understanding from fucking training camp on among all Bears media and all Bears media consumers and all us fans was that don't expect much because Ben Johnson has the most complicated playbook in the NFL at the moment, and Caleb Williams cannot be expected to learn that playbook. Well, he didn't. Ben pulled certain things. They are using about 1/3 of what Ben Johnson wants to be able to do. Now, we'll see. We'll see in these next few games if they're going to throw in some new wrinkles. But I would say 1/3 of Ben Johnson's playbook being run by Caleb Williams has been more successful than we'd imagined. I mean, the team went on a run. They had all these crazy comebacks. Magic. Of course it's magic. Maybe it's because Caleb's a warlock. But don't tell me it's fucking luck. That doesn't happen 7 times, okay? It's not luck. It is just the demeanor of this team. They keep it close, and then Caleb Williams is fucking Superman. I'm sorry. He just is. I don't know what to say. Am I happy that he's my quarterback? Of course I am. Do you people still not like that he paints his nails and comes from Southern California? And whatever. That's fine. He balls out. He balls out at a level that we have never seen here in Chicago. So thank you very much, but fuck you. We are very happy and ahead of schedule. So the Bears go into the playoffs, and the first game is against Green Bay Packers, and we're all fucking freaking out about that because we just cannot handle an offseason where we've been booted from the playoffs by the Green Bay Packers. So we win that game, and everybody's just euphoric. It's our Super Bowl. Now we got the Rams coming in. The Rams have, I was going to say the best offense in the NFL, but I don't know. There's a number of teams with pretty good offenses. Hell, San Francisco is still out there. In fact, when you look at the NFC playoffs right now, the NFC playoffs consist of the NFC West and the Chicago Bears. That's it. So the question is, can this team, the Bears, who are built very differently than all of those NFC West teams, can they beat them in a 3-game tournament? Because that's what we're looking at. We're looking at a 3-game run. We here in Chicago, honestly, and I speak for a lot of my Bear fan friends when I say, yeah, we don't fucking care. Yeah, we don't care. We were good. We're good. We beat the Packers. That was amazing. We get a bonus game this weekend against the Rams. The Rams could, if you listen to Alex Smith, who told Kay Adams yesterday that they were going to hang 50 on the Bears. They could. All right. That's fine. We beat the fucking Packers. We sent the Packers home a week earlier. That's all we care about. We have no illusions about our team. We think our offense is going to be the best offense in football for the years moving forward. Yeah. Because as a lot of people have echoed James Jones of the former Green Bay Packer legend sentiments when he said, guys, you just got to get used to it. This is the worst that we're going to see Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. It's the worst. It's their first year together. They haven't even cracked open the full book. Imagine what after this year of experience and in a full off season. Yeah. So they're coming back. They're going to be good. Kyle Manunga is going to be good for years in this system. Roma Dunze is going to be good for years in this system. And the whole fucking world is going to start to recognize Luther Burden, who is retarded good. Anyway, offense going to be fine. It's our defense. The Bears look at our defense and we're like, yeah, we're going home because of that group. We're going home. You know what? Here's the deal with our defense. We saw that game against San Francisco a couple of weeks ago. That game against San Francisco was a shootout. And the question was, our defense can't stop them. And maybe their defense can't stop us. But the question was, can Caleb hang with that offense? And he did. He hung with it. He went tit for tat the whole fucking game. Bomb, ba-bomb, ba-bomb. Purdy, bomb to bomb to bomb. You know, it was just fucking a great game. So we know we can hang with those people. And we also know that we have a Canadian Football League defense. We know that. However, that's going to change in the offseason. So when I tell you that we really don't give a shit about what's going to happen here on Saturday, I don't think we do. There's nobody in Chicago. We're not going to be crying. We're in gravy time. You know, we're playing with house money, whatever you want to say. That's where we are. And we are so grateful for the season. This season was so much fun. And by the way, I hope I don't sound like I'm just conceding this game. I'm not conceding it. I think the Bears could fucking beat them. One thing we Bear fans are in agreement on, there's not a team in football that we don't think that we can beat, because we have seen this team keep it close and then win 7 times. So mentally, the fan base is like, yeah, we're in it. But we also know that our defense is not a Super Bowl winning defense. So, but maybe weirder fucking things have happened. The offseason looks good. The offseason looks good. We're getting Max Crosby. The Bears are going after Max. They're going all in. They're going to try and win the Super Bowl next year, and we're going after Max Crosby. So we're going to add Max Crosby on the opposite side there of Montez Sweat. Then there's the story that broke yesterday. Guess who wants to come back to Chicago to play on a 1-year deal? And I think that we should do it. Khalil motherfucking Mack. So, yeah, our defense that absolutely sucks this year because we can't seem to get any pressure. Our middle three, they're the only ones that get pressure. Our linebackers are overworked because they're fucking nothing but time to throw in the pocket for anybody that we play against. Our corners are fucking stretched and broken. That all changes with Max Crosby placed on one end, Montez Sweat on the other. And then we'll just rotate in Austin Booker, who is called a young Khalil Mack. We'll rotate him in with Khalil Mack, and we'll win the fucking Super Bowl next year. That's next year. Plenty of time for crowing about that stuff later. We got to talk about this year. In this year, we don't care. We're good. This year, we're good. Whatever happens, happens. We're just pleased to have a team that isn't an embarrassment anymore. And it's been a long few years. It's been multiple seasons of like 9, 10, 11 losses in a row. But we're back, and we're going to be good for a while. This team is young. This team is only just beginning. But as they say, you know who else was ahead of schedule? 2 years ago, the Texans were ahead of schedule with CJ. Last year, the Commanders were ahead of schedule. So don't take it for granted that we're ahead of schedule. Let's knuckle down, or bear down, as we say, and let's fucking beat the Rams, and then just see where the chips fall. Let's go from there. Interestingly enough, this is the story that I'm trying to work up to. Do you guys know about the beef, the war that's going on between Chicago Bears quarterback Caleb Williams and hip-hop icon Lil Wayne? You guys know about this? Lil Wayne is apparently, and this is such a weird story, which means that Lil Wayne doesn't know ball. Lil Wayne is not really a ball fan. What Lil Wayne seems to be is somebody who's interested in aligning himself with a brand. Lil Wayne grew up in Louisiana, right? New Orleans. And Lil Wayne is a die-hard, ride or die, he will tell you, fan of the Green Bay Packers. Don't know why that is. Actually, I do know why that is. And this is why I say Lil Wayne's not a ball guy. He doesn't know ball. Lil Wayne grew up in New Orleans. They got a team there. And he was never a fan. He says that the way that he became a Green Bay Packer fan was that his father attended a Super Bowl in New Orleans when he was a kid, and it was a Super Bowl where the Green Bay Packers won, and his father came back from the game with all kinds of free Green Bay Packers swag, and from that point on, Lil Wayne became a Green Bay Packers fan. Now, I say that means that he's not a real ball fan because he was living in a city that had an NFL team, and he wasn't a fan of that team. So he decided that he was going to jump on the bandwagon and become a fan of a team from another town that won the Super Bowl because that's what he is. He's not a real ball player. He's not a real ball fan. He's just a bandwagon rider. And he's hooked himself to the Green Bay Packers ever since. And why not? There is no shame. There is no shame. Actually, I do know why that is. And this is why I say Lil Wayne's not a ball guy. He doesn't know ball. Lil Wayne grew up in New Orleans. They got a team there. And he was never a fan. He says that the way that he became a Green Bay Packer fan was that his father attended a Super Bowl in New Orleans when he was a kid, and it was a Super Bowl where the Green Bay Packers won, and his father came back from the game with all kinds of free Green Bay Packers swag, and from that point on, Lil Wayne became a Green Bay Packers fan. Now, I say that means that he's not a real ball fan because he was living in a city that had an NFL team, and he wasn't a fan of that team. So he decided that he was going to jump on the bandwagon and become a fan of a team from another town that won the Super Bowl because that's what he is. He's just a bandwagon rider. And he's if you're not from Chicago. There's no shame if you're anywhere else in the country and you're a Green Bay Packer fan. It's actually kind of a cool team to be a fan of. They are the weirdest team in the NFL. That's interesting. They play in the smallest market. The smallest market by like the next smallest market has like 1 million more, but there's like 50,000 people in Green Bay is a small town. Point is this, without getting into demographics that Anna Moreno will surely correct me on. Green Bay is a small market that never in any world would ever have an NFL franchise. They just don't. Milwaukee or Madison would long before Green Bay, Wisconsin would. Green Bay would be like if Waco had a football team, for my friends in Texas, a pro football team. So anyway, it is kind of an interesting team to be a fan. They don't have an ownership group. They're owned by the town, which is why they stay there, which is why they've always been there, because they can afford it. And the town just raises taxes when they want a free agent. I mean, it's a crazy situation. So it's kind of an interest. If you're going to be a team, an out-of-town fan of a team, I can understand how someone might be attracted to that storyline and that weirdness. Lil Wayne is such a character. He became a big diehard Green Bay Packer fan. He goes on stage. He wears Green Bay Packer stuff. Lil Wayne's a weirdo, though, right? We know this. Lil Wayne, the big giant gold grill. He looks like an alien predator from another planet. He wears weird clown clothes. I mean, he is, as far as fashion goes. Well, here, let's look at some pictures of Lil Wayne because it'll be important for your own edification as we dive deeper into this story. Here is these Lil Wayne. Let's see, pull up some, but just so you know what we're talking about here, and I'm sure you do. Lil Wayne is famous. All right, here he is, Lil Wayne. Totally normal guy. Nothing weird about that at all. That totally normal outfit. I mean, whatever. He's a little, no shirt, winter jacket, weird tattoos all over the face. By the way, if you remember, Lil Wayne was famous for painting his nails. He used to paint his nails black. He and Caleb have that in common. Hold that thought. Lil Wayne, look at him. Oh, Lil Wayne. He's not weird at all. Nothing strange about here he is, Lil Wayne. Look at this. What the fuck is he wearing on his feet? Yeah, Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne. So what would it surprise you? Oh, fuck. That sun, right? What the hell is going on with that sun right now? Jesus, man. All right, we're just going to have to deal with that sun. It's like coming out. It's been snowing. Lil Wayne's a weirdo. We can establish that. Thank you, Maddie, for putting weirdo in my mind. So when the Green Bay Packers, who Lil Wayne is a fan of, when the Green Bay Packers lost to the Chicago Bears, Lil Wayne took to Twitter because, I don't know, maybe he was a little fucked up or whatever, but he took to Twitter and he started talking shit as a Green Bay Packer fan. Here's what Lil Wayne, the guy that we just saw in those giant foam pink boots and the big gold grill and the tattoos on the face and the black painted nails and the cornrows and the weird clown colored outfits. Here's what Lil Wayne had to say after Caleb Williams beat the Green Bay Packers. Lil Wayne says, and I quote, and by the way, I'll be using the word, but I'll be using it with the A at the end. I will not be using a hard R. Here is what Lil Wayne tweeted. We just lost a playoff game to a nigga with purple nails. We fucking suck bare ass. We don't deserve to be in the playoffs. Straight like that. Lil Wayne can't believe that his team lost to a nigga with purple nails. That's right. Lil Wayne, who painted his nails famously for years and years and who dresses like a clown and wears giant, oversized, comical foam boots and has a grill and tattoos on his face, he now has a problem with Caleb Williams and painted nails. Isn't that interesting? You fucking bitch. What ground of legitimacy do you think you are standing on, Lil Wayne? So Caleb responded to that. Caleb apparently follows Lil Wayne. It would stand to reason. I bet Caleb's a fan of Lil Wayne music. Caleb, who, by the way, is a fucking fashion icon. Caleb, who looks amazing in his fucking suits and his fashion forward sense. Caleb is a fucking fashionable guy, not Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne's a clown. Lil Wayne's like, pay attention to me and look how crazy I dress. Whereas Caleb's walking a red carpet in a fucking suit that people go, put that on the cover of GQ. That looks good. That's the difference between these guys. But remember, Lil Wayne tweeted, "We just lost a playoff game to a nigga with purple nails. We fucking suck bare ass. Bare ass! Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. We don't deserve to be in the playoffs." Straight like that, says Lil Wayne. Caleb responds, because he's the fucking Steve McQueen of the modern NFL, Caleb simply responds with an ice emoji and a man emoji. So Caleb doesn't get rattled. He doesn't engage with Lil Wayne. He's just like, I'm the Iceman. Fucking deal with it, kid. I'm the Iceman. So that's where that happened. And everybody was like, oh, they're getting into beef and they're retweeting each other's stuff and blah, blah, blah. And Lil Wayne can't let it go and blah, blah, blah. Well, Lil Wayne has apologized. Lil Wayne attempted to squash the beef this morning, tweeting directly at Caleb Williams, Chicago Bears quarterback. Caleb, don't mind me, bruh. I'm just a cheesehead for life, and you just a killer. And you killed us bad each time. And for that, you get the praise gesture from me. Praise hands emoji. I love the game. And it'd be impossible to make that statement without acknowledging and admiring yo game king. Wayne finishes it up with, you a beast, but you're still a bear. Cheese emoji. There you go. Caleb responded to that, so I think we've got beef squash. Caleb responds simply with, wheeze. It's all love. Bear down, though. Wheeze. It's all love. Bear down, though. There you go. Love it. So beef squashed. Beef squashed. I'll tell you what, though, I've got a beef with other Packer streamers. I know I'm not technically a Bears streamer. Maybe I should be. Maybe I should just start doing fucking Bears content. I mean, at least that'd be something people would hit. Anyway. Here, I want to show you something. And then we're going to leave you with this. This is funny. So there are a whole bunch of people. Do you guys know about this phenomena out there that's really cool? I kind of like it. So there's this phenomena where people, like I'm sure Cowboy dudes do it. I don't know if CC and Keith do it at Sports Bras, but it's kind of an interesting thing. There are a lot of Packer guys who do this. A lot of Bears guys who do this. What they do is they just live stream them watching the game. Like the live stream is just like it is with me, but imagine if I was just watching a football game and commenting on it. And in many cases, these people are doing play-by-play. These people are doing sort of amateur play-by-play. Williams drops back to pass. He's got a man open on the sideline, under pressure, scrambling to his left. He throw right. That's what they're doing. And they're dorky, but it's kind of dorky in my lane. I kind of like it. I'm like, that's kind of cool. I didn't know that was a thing. That's fun. So anyway, the Packers are really big on this. The Packers are very popular. They're a very popular team. For such a small town, they have outsized influence throughout the league, and rightfully so. They're one of the important teams of the league. If I'm going to stand on the ground and say that my team, the Chicago Bears, are the foundational franchise of the NFL, I certainly must allow some room in that foundation for the Green Bay Packers to stand with us, because they were there too. They weren't there the first year, but they were there the second year, and that's good enough. Don't worry, Arizona Cardinals. You're still allowed here. You're with us. Arizona Cardinals, Chicago Bears, Green Bay Packers. Canton Bulldogs, get the fuck out of here. Rochester Wings, get the hell out of here. You teams don't exist anymore. I don't know where I am. Anyway, the point is this. There's a whole bunch of these Packer fans who do these play-by-play things where they watch games. And again, I shouldn't just say Packer fans because I guess a bunch of people do it. So I want to show you an example. This is my comfort zone. This is my happy place. Of course, everybody knows that the game between the Bears and the Green Bay Packers last Saturday night was a bit of a roller coaster. And for the first 3.5 quarters, it was a dominant display by the Green Bay Packers over the Chicago Bears. So let's check in early in the game when it's 23-3 or whatever it was with some Packer play-by-play, some Packer amateur play-by-play guys. Let's check in with them and let's just, let's see where their mood was when their team was up 23-3. Let's see what the vibe. You know, are they being classy or are they Packer fans who are, you know, crowing a little bit? Let's see. Here you go. I love these guys. A couple of Packer fans just before halftime in the Bears-Packers game from Saturday night. Watch these two clowns, because we're going to see another video of them in a minute.
Into the end zone, and the Packers will take over. All right, boys. Ben Johnson, what do you got to do? Cry mostly.
It's so funny because we're obviously better than the Bears, and Ben Johnson doesn't know what he's doing. It's so funny.
Cry mostly.
I'm sure he's talking about Matt LaFleur right now.
Yeah, probably.
He's like, if Matt wasn't so good, I could beat him.
Oh, really? Put a pin in that.
Probably that.
Matt's
Something
not
like
letting me
Something
beat
along
him.
those lines.
It's not nice. They're mean.
Is that allowed? They're meanies.
They're
real
meanies.
All right, this is my favorite part of this whole thing, because right now they are pretending they're in a little fantasy world with what's going on with Ben Johnson. And right now they are mocking Ben Johnson for this fantasy situation where he's mad because the Packers are being mean. Of course, the idea here is that Ben's a pussy who can't take it when people are being mean to him. And that's the fun that they're having here. Let's listen to that again, shall we?
They're mean.
Is that allowed? They're meanies.
They're
real
meanies.
These are the same fucking people who are outraged that Ben Johnson was mean to them by not shaking Matt LaFleur's hand and just being classless by saying, fuck the Packers. Very same people who right here when their team was up, they are fantasizing about how they're going to get to be mean to Ben Johnson. We're going to get to be mean and he's going to be hurt. And haha, what a pussy he is. Fast forward about 3 hours and they're all furiously tweeting bullshit like Ben Johnson has got no class and there's no room for that. Fuck you, cowards.
Into the end zone.
One more time.
And the Packers will take over. All right, boys. Ben Johnson, what do you got to do? Cry mostly.
I'm sure he's talking about Matt LaFleur right now.
Yeah, probably.
He's like, if Matt wasn't so good, I could beat him.
Yeah. Oh, is that what he's doing?
Probably that.
Fucking
Matt's not letting me
Something
beat
along
him.
those lines.
It's not nice.
All right, there you have it. There's that. Let's check in with these boys about a quarter and a half later, shall we? Shall we check in with these boys? Because they were pretty fucking sure. All right, I'm going to play something here. I'm going to let it go for a while. I understand that none of you are going to be interested in it, but it is a compilation of these Packer people having their souls ripped from their chest, and we are going to enjoy it because we just saw how arrogant they were a couple of quarters earlier when they were mocking Ben Johnson because they couldn't wait to be mean to Ben Johnson. They couldn't wait, and then they wanted him to be the pussy who was like, oh, why are you being mean to me? Once again, we know who turned out to be the pussy complaining about Ben Johnson being classless. All right, let's watch this. Here we go. Remember, we just saw those guys. And again, now this is truly, you're just indulging me here because this is, but here you go. Oh, look at him now. Look at him. He looks a little more concerned than the last time we saw him, right? Let's see what's happening with these fucking clowns. And again, this is a compilation of all Packer streamers.
Cohesiveness. All right, here we go. Four-man rush.
Throw all day.
The
all day
opposite
to throw, nowhere to throw
the Bears,
to.
who have all day to sit back
now
there
he
and do
gets
whatever
away
they
and we
want.
can't get contained.
And
I
he's
don't understand.
First down.
Oh, what's wrong? You're not mocking Ben Johnson anymore. What's wrong?
Are you kidding me? What are they doing?
You, defense getting tired to make 3 and outs. You're not wrong. And 2nd and 10, Williams, play action, has some time, fires, and it's going to be caught. Is he out of bounds? Oh, it's a catch. It's Loveland. Gets down to like the 11. Michael to fire. When are they going to put in Malik?
Olamide Zacchaeus in at tailback. That should tell you it's not going to be a run. Oh, it is. Swift cut.
That's my favorite. That is my absolute favorite of these jugheads. Look at the confidence. This guy presents himself in his personal universe. He's not famous. He's not on a network. He's not doing, Sunday Night Football from the desk. But in his group of people, he knows football. He's our football guy. He knows he can take a look at his lineup and he'll tell you exactly what's about to happen. This fucking moron. He's like, well, they're definitely not going to run. Oh, they're running. Just love it.
That's
Watch.
He is in at tailback. That should tell you it's not going to be a run. Oh, it is.
That should tell you if you were smart like me, and I'm here to educate you people because we all watch the same fucking thing, but I'm better at it than you. So I'm going to tell you when you see this formation, that's going to tell you that they're absolutely not going to run. Oh, they are.
Olamide Zacchaeus in at tailback. That should tell you it's not going to be a run. Oh, it is. Swift cuts. He finds the end zone. This game is.
Oh, was that Ben Johnson? Was that Ben Johnson who's, just dreaming of one day being as good as Matt LaFleur? Did Ben Johnson show you something that you identified as absolutely not being a run and then he fucking punched it in? Is that what he did? Did he make the same things look different and different things look the same? Is that what Ben Johnson did to you, you fucking losers?
This is a game. This is a game. Because you've made it a game. It's a game because you've made it a game. 4th and 8. This seems like it's for the game. This seems like it's to move on.
Now here's the throw. Remember, throw of the year, 4th and 8. Their season would be over if somebody didn't make a play.
In the playoffs, 4th and 8. This seems like it's for the game. This seems like it's to move on in the playoffs. Empty. Williams dropping back. Pressure. Finally, McDuffie hits as he throws. Wow.
You're kidding me. How do you let that up?
Oh!
They had it, man.
4 minutes left, 55 seconds. Snap. Williams dropping back.
Come on, get some pressure. Get some pressure. Just throws it over the middle.
And it's blocking by the Bears.
Oh my gosh. Monongai inside the 10.
I don't want to bore you people. I could just watch this forever. I am sorry. This compilation goes on. All right, let's check back in.
All set, check in.
Remember how arrogant this guy was in the first clip? Remember? He was like, laughing at Ben. He's not arrogant now. He's fucking scared.
Back to
Four-man
throw.
rush. Throw over
Got
middle.
him.
Touchdown.
Wow, he made that look so easy.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? He made it look real fucking easy. Real easy. Be scared, Packer fans, because he's only in his second year.
Come on.
That's never going to end well. Strong package.
Now Caleb Williams going into shotgun with the back lined up to his right. Come on, back. Takes the snap. Williams fires. It's good.
It's good. What do you know? Colston Loveland. Every single time.
These people are broken. They've been broken. They were so arrogant at halftime, and now they're broken. We have done this to 7 fan bases this year. We've done it to this fan base twice.
3-point game. 3-point game.
Damn.
Come on, boys. We need the offense. 4-minute offense right here for the season. Let's go.
He can't believe what he's seeing. He was so arrogant a couple of minutes ago. So arrogant.
This dude bought a whole lot of cheese.
Gain of 34. 1st and 10. Still can't get complacent. First down handoff. That's complacent. What do you know?
That's kinda dumb.
Loss of 1. Come on.
Every time they've tried this fucking shit out of the gun with Jacobs, it has gone nothing. It has done absolutely zip.
3rd and 10 from the 21. And Love changing the play at the line again. They got to hurry up, though. 4, 3. They are not set. 2. I hate this. 1. They can't call a timeout. That's delay a game.
Oh my God.
Choking. What a freaking idiot. Jordan Love, you can't be doing that.
What are you doing?
How do you take a timeout and then you have a delay of game?
You stupid 55 million.
Again, I remind you of how arrogant these people were 40 minutes earlier.
$1 a year. $55 million to not pay attention to the play clock.
Just go and fucking do the play.
This guy was laughing at halftime. They're going after their quarterback. They've turned on Jordan. They've turned on Matt LaFleur. They're starting to turn on each other.
You just burned a timeout. That was coming out of a timeout. You moron right there. What a stupid play right there from the guy you're paying $55 million a year to.
2:56 to go.
Hey, our quarterback's still on a rookie contract. So yeah, we're not in trouble. We're not up against the wall like you guys with that $55 million fucking cap hit hanging over you.
I really don't like that. Oh, I don't like that.
It's fucking inexcusable. Especially after a timeout. Anytime you take a delay of game after a timeout.
Let's jump forward in the game. Hold on, what's going on here?
2:43 left. Caleb in the gun, takes the snap. Heavy pressure up the middle. Wide open Loveland for a first down. I mean, I could just add that to the soundboard. Wide open Loveland for a first down.
We should have taken Tyler Warren because Loveland was obviously a miscalculation by Ben Johnson and his people who didn't know what the fuck they're doing. Well, this happens with a rookie head coach. Sometimes they fall in love with somebody. And, Ben Johnson probably fell in love with Colston Loveland because, Ann Arbor is not that far from Detroit. And I'm sure that Ben Johnson, this is probably just a pick for him. And it's not going to work out well. He really should have gone with Tyler Warren. Meanwhile, Colston Loveland is having a fucking unbelievable season.
Keep clicking that button.
Tyler Warren did too. Both can be good. But don't say that we were wrong for taking the guy who's going to build the offense, for taking the guy who's building the offense saw what was out there, and he decided that this was better for what I want to do. So just shut up about Colston Loveland and Tyler Warren.
Because that's all it's been. 137 yards.
This is a nightmare, man. This is a nightmare. They get all the way down there, and you miss the freaking kick. They completely screwed up all those play calls, man. You let them...
By the way, let me also point something out about the kick, because there's been a lot of talk about Brandon McManus, the kicker for the Green Bay Packers, and how he left 7 points on the field. And a lot of people, the out-of-town stupid people, will lean into that and go, well, that's just unlucky. That's just... It's not just unlucky. It's not just unlucky. Every Chicago Bear fan will tell you that is not just unlucky. That is our 12th man. Do you know what the Chicago Bears' 12th man is? Fucking Lake Michigan. Lake Michigan and Soldier Field's location. You come in from somewhere else and try and fucking kick in that place and you don't know how to kick and play the winds in Soldier Field, you will have a night like Brandon McManus, especially on a night that is very windy. It was very windy. That's why we have Cairo Santos. A lot of people are like, Cairo Santos, he doesn't have a leg at all. No, but he's fucking deadly accurate down the middle. And he knows how to play the winds at Soldier Field. So fuck you very much. We're not going to have a guy that's going to boot a 63-yard field goal. But we do have a guy that is going to be pretty fucking consistent when the winds are swirling in the end zone.
Keep a timeout. Just garbage.
They want the end zone. 25-yard line. Trips left, bunch, Williams, pump fake, Moore, touchdown.
Too easy.
Green Bay's down. Bears take the lead.
Oh my God.
Green Bay blows it. I can't.
One more time, I got to see this one.
Bears
one more
take
time.
The lead.
This one right here.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. That's the guy, remember? He was in the first video. He was laughing about how terrible the Bears were and how they wish they could be the Packers. No, son, we don't wish that.
Green Bay blows it.
We don't wish that because you wake up every morning in fucking Green Bay, Wisconsin, and we wake up every day in the burgeoning metropolis that is the world-class city of Chicago. So go kick rocks, loser.
I cannot believe it.
How sad for them.
I cannot believe it.
All right. Now it's up to Jordan Love and the offense. Scored too quickly. I'm glad.
Yeah, that's it. We scored too quickly because you guys are fucking amazing, and you're supposed to win because remember the score at halftime?
Glad you're happy, Bears fans, but you scored too quickly. Scored.
Still, this guy, his partner is having an absolute anxiety breakdown right here. He is mentally broken. this guy. Meanwhile, his partner is still talking shit. His partner is still like, hope you're satisfied, Chicago. You scored too early. Take a look at your fucking partner, man. You are delusional.
All right. Now it's up to Jordan Love in the offense. Scored too quickly. I'm glad you're happy, Bears fans, but you scored too quickly.
Hey, wake your partner up because he's in a fucking catatonic state.
Here we go.
Love in the gun on 2nd and 3 into Bears territory at the 49. Love's cannon the play. Takes the snap, 4-man rush. Love climbing the pocket, deep throw. Caught, no, dropped by Reed. Oh my God. They can't get out of their damn way.
Someone's got to step up.
Jaden Reed in a big moment can't come up with.
All you got to do is catch the ball. How do you?
I mean, it's in his hands. It literally hits his hands. Yeah, Jordan might be a little mad too, buddy. That's about as demonstrative as I'll ever see it.
They're at the Bears' 43-yard line. Love takes the snap, 1st and 10 in the gun. Throws deep across the middle. Caught is Jaden Reed to the Bears' 24-yard line. They have to hurry up. 35 seconds. 35. Tick, tick, tick.
Spike it. Hurry up and spike it. Oh, there's a player down on the field.
Love in the gun, 1st and 10. 4-man rush.
By the way, the player on the field, that was a huge fucking mistake for the Green Bay Packers here because you have to spend your own timeout if your player goes down. The rule in the NFL, and I don't know if this is the stated rule in the bylaws, but it is the rule in the locker room. If you get to a point like this in the game and you get injured, unless your fucking spine is broken, you get yourself off the field. You save your team a timeout. You do not fucking... Case in point, Ozzie Trapillo, the Chicago Bears rookie left tackle. Ozzie Trapillo ruptured his patella tendon in this game. Ozzie, he's out for next year. He's out for the rest of the play. He's out for next year. Ozzie Trapillo may never play football again. It is such a serious injury. Ozzie Trapillo, with a ruptured tendon, walked off the field because he knew that it would cost his team a timeout. It's fucking beautiful. It was beautiful. We love Ozzie for that. This guy couldn't get off the field. And it cost his team a timeout in the final. Or no, actually, they had no timeouts. It's even worse for them if I remember correctly. If you have no timeouts, then they have a 10-second runoff on the clock. So this was a game that was like 30 or 22 seconds. And then because of this injury, they had to run 10 seconds off. And we're down to now, instead of them having 2 more plays, they got basically 1 more play.
Throw it. Watson drops it. Oh my God, he got a hand on it. It would have been a touchdown. 13 seconds. They can't get out of their own way, bro.
13 seconds left.
Let's go. Get ready to. Jesus. We have no concept of hurry up.
All right, here we
10
go.
seconds on the play clock.
10 seconds on the play clock as you're coming to the line.
Please.
Jordan,
empty.
Empty. 4, 3, 2, 1. We got a penalty.
What? Nope. Delay of game.
All right, just giving us more room to operate. That's all right. It's all right.
This guy's like Mr. fucking optimistic. All right. Just giving us more, that penalty against us in the worst possible time, just giving us more room to operate. Okay.
Just gives Jordan all right, just giving us more room to operate. That's all right. It's all right. Just gives Jordan a little bit further to throw. It's all good.
2nd and 15. Love takes the snap and is going to get hit as he throws, and it's going to bounce out of bounds.
You got one chance. Your season comes down to right here.
Jordan,
oh my God, fumbled snap.
Bad snap.
Throw it! No, last play of the game. Love, scrambling. Love, resetting. Love, throws it.
That's going to be incomplete. That's the game, and that's the season. Right there. Bad snap because you're down to your 3rd, 4th string center.
Oh, no.
And it's dropped.
Oh.
Game over.
Oh, no.
Season over.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Packers blow it.
Yeah, get the fuck out.
$55 million a year.
Ah, there you go. That's the Chicago Bears fight song, by the way, that's now playing.
Oh God, that is heartbreaking.
Sit in it, fucks.
You dropped the snap on the last fucking play? You're joking.
Well, Packers come up short. One hellacious meltdown from the Green Bay Packers.
All right, that's all we need. Oh, weren't they great? Wasn't that fun? Probably not for anybody but me, but that's why we don't care. That's why we don't care what happens Saturday. It's all gravy for us now because we have that moment. You can never take that moment away from us. We did that to them. We did it after years and years of Aaron Rodgers and his I own you stuff that we had to sit in. I'll tell you, when Aaron Rodgers declared I own you to the Chicago Bears bench after fucking scoring a game-winning touchdown in the celebration, when he did that, we didn't all clutch our pearls and go, well, that was classless. No, we just went, you know what? Aaron Rodgers does own us, and it sucks. We had to sit in it. We had to just fucking sit in that shit, knowing that our arch rivals, the Green Bay Packers, and their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, owned us. We took it like men. Now you got to take it. Now you got to take it. Because I'll tell you, in the last 4 Bears-Packers games, 4 out of 5, yeah, we've won the last 4 out of 5 Bears-Packers meetings, and we hadn't won a game against the Packers in like years before that. So, fuck you, Green Bay. All right, I got nothing else. Maddie's a Saints fan. Of course she is, because she's from Louisiana, and that's how it works. Maddie's our executive producer today, so I'll give her, where is it? She says, as a Saints fan, we understand this level of betrayal. So this was a conversation that was had on radio yesterday here in Chicago. And the conversation concerned how great it is that the Bears and Packers are a rivalry again. Because it hadn't been a rivalry. I'm sorry. They've won like 18 of the last 20 meetings. It's something crazy before this. So it wasn't a rivalry. It is a rivalry for marketing purposes, for brand purposes of the NFL. These teams have been playing since 1917 in a cornfield in northern Illinois. It's like one of those kind of deals. But it truly hasn't been a rivalry until now. And Ben Johnson gets the rivalry. He said yesterday in his press conference, they said, hey, you said fuck the Packers. That's not, remember that he's being criticized because he said fuck the Packers in the locker room, and then he refused to shake Matt LaFleur, Green Bay's head coach. He refused to shake his hand like a gentleman. Well, in the press conference yesterday, he was asked about that. And Ben Johnson, our head coach, got up there and he said that this is a rivalry. And that is how rivalries go. And I just don't like that team. I just don't like the Green Bay Packers. Hi, Ben Johnson, head coach of the Chicago Bears, standing here in front of the media. You're asking me why I was so mean to them. And I'm telling you because it's the fucking Packers and I fucking hate the Packers. And the entire city of Chicago was like, that's our coach. That's our coach. That's what we want. This is none of this modern bullshit where Matt Eberflus and Matt LaFleur are attending Bulls-Bucks games together. Oh, fuck that. Although it is interesting to note that George Halas and Vince Lombardi were very, very close friends. The reason Vince Lombardi got hired in Green Bay is because George Halas convinced Curly Lambeau that he needed to take a look at this kid. This young coach, Vince Lombardi. It was George Halas who got Vince Lombardi to Green Bay. He probably regretted it years later, but, so the rivalry hasn't always been about hatred. There was a time when it was actually competitive and it was about respect and all of that. But that all changed. That all changed after Aaron Rodgers and his whole "I own you" and Brett Favre being a duplicitous piece of shit. We're done with that. So the rivalry's back, and we got a head coach who was like, fuck Green Bay, who is not going to give a gentlemanly handshake to Matt LaFleur. Our coach gets us. It's beautiful. So the rivalry is back. And the conversation yesterday on radio was that this is a good thing. This is a good thing that this rivalry is back. And they started going through other rivalries. Is there a rivalry in American sports that is bigger than the Bears-Packers? Of course, the first one that people came up with was the Red Sox and the Yankees. Red Sox-Yankees, that's a big rivalry. But is it though, really? I mean, it is. It certainly is a rivalry, but it's not the same kind of rivalry. And one of the reasons that was given was because New York and Boston, albeit close, if you want to take a train or a puddle jumper or something, they're not right next to each other. They are not. It's not the same thing. You don't have many situations, or at least not to the degree that we have here in Chicago, where you have what are known as houses divided. People who from Wisconsin, who are Green Bay Packer fans, live in the Chicago area. The smartest kid from every Wisconsin school probably got a big city job in Chicago. Okay, so they're everywhere. Green Bay Packer fans and Bear fans intermingle and mix every single fucking day of their lives. Some are married to each other. There are families where mom is a Packer fan and dad is a Bear fan. So one of the kid is a Packer fan and the other kid. This is normal. This is the rivalry, and that rivalry is back. Yankees, Boston doesn't have it to that degree. Yankees and Boston, again, it's more of like a marketing thing for ESPN to make sure you tune into this Tuesday night game in July. Oh, one of the greatest rivalries. That ain't Bears-Packers, man. That ain't Bears-Packers. In Texas, it's the Cowboys and the Eagles, and I can tell you it ain't even close to being the same thing. It's not even, the Eagles and the Cowboys is not even close to the kind of rivalry that the Bears and the Packers are. I'll tell you the other really good rivalry that I don't think gets all the attention that the Bears-Packers get is Packers-Vikings. Packers and the Vikings fucking hate each other like nobody's business. And that's more of a mooted rivalry as far as, people talking about, but that's real. And that goes back a long time too. Why does everybody fucking hate the Packers? Because they're arrogant and they don't deserve a team. I think that's got to be it. But what other rivalries are there? I mean, in America, besides Yankees, Red Sox, and Bears, Packers, college is filled with rivalries. That's great, but those are regional rivalries, and that's a little bit different. The professional level, we're talking about a different kind of thing. Rivalries are alive and well in college, for sure. Texas OU, that is a legitimate rivalry, and the hubbub surrounding that Texas OU game every year is real, and it is very similar to Bears-Packers. As a matter of fact, when I first got down there for, when they called it, I moved to Dallas long before everything went crazy. It was still called the Red River Shootout when I first went to that game. And I remember being at the Cotton Bowl. This was Kelly and I think were only in Dallas for a couple of weeks. Maybe even the first week, because, it was early October when we showed up. So one of the first things that we got to do in Dallas was we were taken to the Red River Shootout. And I remember commenting, this is like Bears-Packers. This is like the way everybody is together, the way the stadium is half this, half that, because that's what happens when the Bears play the Packers. Half of Soldier Field, not half, but, a large percentage of Soldier Field is wearing, there is no home rooting advantage, really. Chicago and Green Bay are too close. we go to Lambeau. I have been to Lambeau twice in my life. I mean, it's like normal to go to Lambeau. It's just like another stadium in our area that's just a little bit farther. So, the rivalry is back, and rivalries are good. However, the rivalry is done for this year because the Packers went home. All right, Maddie, I asked, who are the Saints' main rivals? It says Saints fans have a healthy disdain for Dallas and Atlanta. Atlanta makes sense to me. Like that seems like that would be a natural rivalry. The Saints, and not the Saints in Dallas though. They're not in the same division. You know what I mean? I think for a real rivalry, they got to be in the same division. You got to be like, we can't even get to the playoffs unless we beat this team. Trying to think any other good rivalries. Shouldn't the Clippers and the Lakers be rivals? It feels like the Clippers and the Lakers should be a real rivalry, but it's Hollywood and nobody cares about that shit. I'll tell you, I think Bills-Patriots is a real rivalry. I think that's a real rivalry, Bills-Patriots. Again, I don't think that even rises to the level of Green Bay, Minnesota. But Bills-Patriots is a real rivalry. I'm out. All right, I got nothing else. I don't know. I got nothing else. Rivalry-wise, rivalries do not exist in professional sports. I think that once you introduce money into the whole thing, it kind of all goes away. Once you introduce the idea that, the thing about college players is that until recently, until this transfer portal screwed everything, college players were college players for the team that they played for. They didn't jump around to 3 different teams. And that was kind of the difference between college and pros. Pros, you had free agencies. They would jump around. Your favorite player whose jersey you bought and whose poster's on your wall, he might be wearing a different uniform next season because that's what the pros are. But with college, you went to college where you went to college. That's kind of changed. So maybe that'll affect rivalries as well. I don't know. Yeah, there you go. And you know what? This is a good one, Adam. This is a real good one. Ravens-Steelers is a very legit rivalry, but so is Ravens-Bengals. The Bengals are involved in that little thing too. But I think that I would agree with him, Adam. I think I would agree. I would think Ravens-Steelers are probably just a little bit more. Shouldn't the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals be in the same division? Are they? They're not. They're not, right? They're both in the same conference, but are they in the same division? If they're in the same division and they are not bigger rivals, is that the 4? Is it Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Cleveland? Is that the AFC North? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, that should be a thing. Cincinnati and Cleveland should definitely be a thing. We're just killing time now. Niners Seahawks, Adam says, I think Niners Rams is bigger than Niners Seahawks, but you're right. I mean, recently Niners Seahawks, that's a good matchup. Yeah, Frank knows. That's the weird thing when you start to get over into the eastern part of the country. I think it all starts to begin like this at the Great Lakes. Right around the Great Lakes cities is when cities start to get real close. Like, it's kind of a weird thing to kind of imagine in Dallas, but, Houston, I guess, to people in Dallas would be close. Whereas, I never thought Houston was close to Dallas because it's far. It's far. It's not like, driving a half hour and being in Milwaukee or driving, an hour and being in Indianapolis or St. Louis. As you go closer, as you go further west or east, these cities are really close. And as Frank points out, Cleveland and Pittsburgh are 3 hours apart. You jump in a car, you go to a game. It's not an away game. It's a game, but we can drive there. That's how rivalries are. That's I think, because I think that's the reason that the Bears and the Packers are such fierce rivals, because we're so close and we're the same people essentially. The big city Chicago and our country cousins in Green Bay. That's what it is. Yeah, that's fun. This is like one of the coolest NFL fun facts of all time. Paul Brown, the founder of 2 NFL franchises. Paul Brown, of course, the Cleveland Browns, legendary. I don't know if he ever owned. Did he found them? I think he's the founder of the Cleveland Browns. And isn't that why they're called the Browns? Like, isn't that why they went, let's call him, because it was Paul Brown? And then Cleveland got tired of his shit for whatever reason. And Paul Brown was like, all right, fine, whatever. I'll leave the team I founded here in Cleveland. And he went to Cincinnati and founded the Bengals. So I totally think that the Bengals and the Browns should be much, deeper rivals over that very fact. Hockey's got rivalries. Hockey is still a sport that really digs deep into rivalries. I mean, Blackhawks, Red Wings, I know that's a big rivalry. And I understand that a lot of these observations are coming from my position as a Chicago fan. So I'm looking at our rivalries, but I'm sure that I'm sure that the Bruins and the Rangers or the Bruins and the Islanders or whatever is a big rivalry. The Maple Leafs and the whomever, the Blues, I don't know. Anyway, rivalries are back. Yeah, and I'm going to keep talking until we have absolutely nobody left watching the stream. That's why I save this stuff for the end. It's because nobody cares when I start just freeballing my sports stuff. Unless that's all I did. Unless I actually just did a sports show every day. Well, that would be a novel idea. There's nobody doing that. That'll really set me apart. Guys, I love you. One more time, I want to say thank you to our executive producer of today's show, the lovely Maddie. She steps up when we need it most, but we still need it. If you can help us out, like I said, we're about $200 underwater. We're trying to get to that number. So I'm going to keep pushing like this desperate freak shaking this fucking can. Help us out if you can. Support this kind of talk radio. I promise it won't be all football talk, but we are in football season. I guess that's it. All right, I got to go to the bathroom. And then I'm going to call Rob. Rob, if you're still here, we're going to talk in the next couple of minutes, and we're going to get started on this project because we are all very much committed to it. I love you guys. We'll talk tomorrow. Bye, everybody.